trying to get one co-host for this live. Definitely think it would be a good live for me and somebody to talk about. To a good day of track and field, I think it is. One host, somebody, anybody. I drop a link in in the chat, and that link you can join the live. Rewrite narrative. That's the channel. I think today we had a very good day of track and field, the London Diamond League. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's a good lead up. Some very good final races before the Olympics. We have three personal bests. Welcome to the live. Um, I drop a link in the live. Remember, guys, please like as you come in before you leave. Please like. I drop a link in the live. Today we had a very good day of track and field. Every day had been good days of track and field. The drama is leading up. I think this is really good for track and field overall. The athletes showing their personality, whether they're doing it on social media or they're doing it on the track. The athletes showing their personality. The lead up to the Olympics, I think it's really good. Probably we are in a era where we might enjoy track and field a lot more than people have from the past. You would have had to hear about the races after. You'd have to hear about the races. You'd have to research the races to find out what's going on. Right now, we could literally be a part of the events. So I want to go live real quickly and talk about some of what we saw today. Today, I think I remember seeing three personal bests. Could be more. I remember three that stood out to me: Julian Alfred, Noah Lyles, and Nikisha Price. And all three of these athletes are medal contenders. Which of them are gold medal contender at the moment? At the moment, Noah Lyles is probably the most vocal athlete out there, talking big talks, and he's backing it up. I think he's the one that is most. Noah Lyles, I think, is the most controversial of all, but I think it's good for the sport. It's good. It's just like boxing. It's like wrestling. At the moment, people are just going out there and saying whatever they choose. I drop a link in the live. Welcome to the live. Truly appreciate everybody who start by. Appreciate our comments. I drop a link in the live. I'm welcoming anybody who would like to talk, to give their opinion, say their piece. Three personal bests. I listed them on the screen. Julian Alfred, 21.86, a personal best, a national best, a national record. We have Nikisha Price, a personal best, 48.57. She went a little better from the 48.89 that she previously had, national record, personal best. Noah Lyles been talking a lot of things. We have been concerned that he might be just running his mouth, but no, he's actually running on track. It's 6 days away from the Olympics. The Olympics should be good. Please please subscribe to the channel, and let's have a little community going into the Olympics. I've mostly have done a lot of cricket videos, the West Indies predominantly, but I think it's a good time for me to do a little track and field video, to do some track and field videos and some lives. Remember, guys, like the video before you leave. If you like the video, push out to somebody else who would be interested in this kind of content. And I do believe that the Olympics is going to be fire. It's going to be hot. I cannot say I have any real predictions about the medal haul for Jamaica, but I want to think that Jamaica medal haul is going to be consistent with what we have seen over the past couple of Olympics. My guess is that we could get anywhere from 12 to 14 medals. I could go in different orders how we could achieve that. However, I do believe that somebody else joining the live, somebody clicking on the link, getting up here would be a good conversation. Some sports fan somewhere. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's build that community going into the Olympics. We only have 6 days to the Olympics. We have a lot of events. We like a lot of different things in the Olympics. And I'm sure that this would be a good place to have some discussion. I don't have any panelists. I don't have anybody where usually we talk track and field with. Mostly it's cricket, but the platform is open. First, let me go a little bit further in the personal best that I've seen today. Julian Alfred. Julian Alfred, I think, is a real threat to the. It's a real contender for a podium spot. Would it be first, second, or third? At the moment, she's looking like third. We would like to say that Sherika Jackson is the number one. She's first. And Gabby Thomas could be second. And Julian Alfred is looking like third at the moment. But from what we are seeing also from like Dina Asher Smith, she might be just peaking at the moment. Not sure. But a personal best from Julian Alfred at this point and the way that she's running in the 100 meter, I think that she's podium ready, and she could be a dark horse in the 100 meter as well. In the 200 meter, she looked like she's securing a medal, a podium spot, and in the 100 meter, she looked like she could disrupt a lot of things, running from behind to take down Dina Asher Smith and just getting beat on the line from Gabby Thomas. Gabby Thomas is the world lead of the world leading time. I think it's good run from Julian Alfred. Julian Alfred peaking at the. I don't know if she's peaking or she already peaked, but looking really, really good in her Olympic year. And just a week before the Olympics, she is already getting personal best, getting a national record. It's a good look. It's a lot. It's a really, 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 really a good look. The second personal best that I've seen is the 48:57 from Nikisha Price. Nikisha Price, the national record. She looked like she could definitely take that gold medal. That's a good run from her today. It's a strong run, well timed. She she didn't look like she was gonna get beat in that race. And the icing on the cake is the personal best that she had, and it's a week before the Olympics. Well, one might say that the track is a fast track, which is good. It's good for the confidence of the athlete. The athletes getting that quick time very early, really, really good for the confidence of the athlete. No question asked. So the more confident the athlete look, is the more confident the Jamaican fans will be. Journey with Kelly, welcome to the live. Appreciate the comment. Julian, Journey with Kelly is saying Julian definitely looking to get 2 medals. I would be surprised if she's able to get those 2 medals. Those 2 medals would be detrimental to a lot of people because a lot of people, those are marquee events. She's only from a small island, St. Lucia. That island doesn't have many. I'm sure that she would automatically become a national hero. She would be a hero. No questions asked. You're talking about running against some of the powerhouses, the Jamaicans, the USA, getting one of those marquee medal spots. No questions asked, man. 2 medals, especially in the 100 and 200. I'm not sure if there is enough firepower on a relay team for her to get a relay medal, but individually, she'll be going out there, just keeping herself healthy and going out there to represent at the highest level that she can. Everyone here, welcome to the live. Please remember, like the live before you leave. Appreciate it. Drop a comment. Our comment will be read. Our comments will be read. It's a part of the commentary. So as you come in, let's talk about it. You guys saw the live. You saw the races today. If you haven't seen it live, you have seen the results. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. What happened? How do you think about? What do you think about the personal best that these athletes are running at the moment? Do you think they are peaking at the right time? Do you think that they are showing some kind of intention? What we can expect from the athletes? What we can expect from the athletes going into the Olympics? Or what we can expect from the athletes in the Olympics? Drop your comments down below. All interactions are appreciated. But yes, as I was saying about the personal best from Julian Alfred, I think it came at the right time. Her confidence will be booming. From a small island, she should be proud of herself. National record, and every good thing that she does from here forward will be excellent for her country, excellent for her career. She is like rewriting history for St. Lucia. Nikisha Price. After you think that Jamaica can get any better, Nikisha Price just keep on getting better and better and better. Jamaica getting a better look at what's possible for them. Originally, I thought the Jamaican team in the 100 meter, they had opportunity for 2 medals from the women All we have three athletes there, but I was thinking two legitimate opportunity for medals with Sherika Jackson and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. Even though Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price ran second, ran third in the trials, I was still giving her the nudge ahead of Tia Clayton, right? So I'm saying two legitimate places, only because she's a champion. She's a champion at heart. So I'm expecting that she will go out there in her final run, in her even if this is not her final race, her final Olympics, she will be going out there. And remember, her shot to stardom came in the Olympics when nobody expected her to win. I remember when Gillian Fraser Price got the third spot in the trials, and everybody was saying that she should just give it over to Veronica Campbell because she she have no chance of medaling. And 5 Olympics later, she's still qualifying for the Olympics. And right now, we're saying that she may or may not have an opportunity to medal, just the same way like how Veronica Campbell was in an older at her the tail end of her career, and we didn't expect a medal from her. Right now, we're saying she may or may not medal. However, Shelly-Ann Fraser could medal in this Olympics, and if she does, and if it happened that she medal in this Olympics, it would be very, very good for Jamaica. So, 100 women, we're expecting a medal from her. Journey with Kelly. Appreciate the comment again. Price running a world lead is capable of medaling. Plus, she has been number 2 all year. No, yes, that's true. A world lead, but not just that. She ran a world lead. She also is number 1 for the year with that run. That's the fastest time of the year. If she's able to replicate that, is a good opportunity for her to medal. Absolutely, medal and even win the gold. So that's an opportunity for Jamaica to get another gold medal. Let's see what will happen. Claude Duncan, appreciate the comment. Welcome to the live. The meet was definitely a good one. The athletes gave a good account of themselves. We had PBS season. We have PBS season best, etc. With regards to individual performance, Julian, Nikisha, and Noah, along with Femke, great, certainly. All these athletes at the moment, right before the Olympics, they're just giving us. I think we're gonna have a very good show from in the Olympics, and the fact that the athletes are just the fact that we can see what's leading up to the Olympics, I think the anticipation is building. And for those athletes who are most outspoken, like Noah Lyles, for example, it's a gift that keeps on giving. But the athletes who are just performing and putting it all out on the track, it's another way for us to have a great anticipation. But Noah Lyles talking and doing the most at the moment, riling up the fans to and the fans for and against. I think it's really, really good show for the Olympics coming. It's just 7 days. It's just 6 days away. After tonight, it's 1 day away. So yeah, guys, I remember I drop a link in the live. I'll drop a link in the chat. So anybody who would like to say something to show, to contribute, you're welcome to join. Journey with Kelly once again with another comment here is saying that Pauline is the one to beat. The Paulino, the one to beat. And then Femiki. Yeah, so you know what? That's what I mean. It's exciting knowing that she was the number 1 all year, and then right before the Olympics, Price came, took over. It's going to be special. Carlton Barrett, appreciate the comment. Welcome to the live. When the Olympic track meet going to start? The Olympics should start 6 days from now, which is the 26th. I can't say for sure when the sprints will start. I'll have to take a look at that, which I could do. Yeah, Paulino. Yes, yeah, Paulino, absolutely. So it will start in 6 days. The opening ceremony is in 6 days. The opening ceremony should be on the 26th, and it goes through August 10th, I think. But I'll confirm that. Claude Duncan, the track and field starts on the 1st of August, I believe. There you go. So there you go, Carlton. The track and field will start on the 1st. But I'm sure that the field events, the swimming, it's gonna be a good show overall. All these athletes been working for years to get prepared for this event. It's gonna be a good show. Or especially with Paris looking to do something special for the country. They will be looking to put on a good show. It's going to be a good event, in my opinion. And the athletes, our favorite athletes, we will be cheering them on to the last day. So remember, guys, try to, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, let's subscribe. I want to see if I can do some daily lives leading up to the Olympics and during, see how that works out. But I really appreciate all the support. Just remember to come to subscribe, like the live. Put like in the live, just push it out to others. And again, anybody who is interested in joining and dropping a comment, letting us know what you guys think about the your favorite athlete would be good. Do you think Kishane will break this 9-7 barrier? Oh man, appreciate the comment. It's a really good question. Kishane Thompson, with the kind of running that I've seen from Kishane Thompson, I do believe that Kishane Thompson have a lot more in store because just a case in point, I was watching and doing the comparison between Kishane Thompson and Asafa Powell. Kishane Thompson, with the kind of speed that I'm seeing, the kind of delivery that he had, is unknown. And he's with one of the greatest track and field athletes of all time. Usually, we would say that, you know what, Stephen Francis is just an excellent track and field coach for women, but we also need to remember that he was the one that brought Asafa Powell to the forefront. No, Kishane Thompson running at 9.77. Remember when Asafa Powell first ran 9.77, it was a world record. And then after that, he ran a second world record, 9.74, where he shut down around the 70 or 80 meter mark. The only difference in that one was that he did not look at the clock and he just run right through, shut down, literally just jogging through, really, really effortlessly jogging through. And it was 9.74. Kishane Thompson, he jogged through, and I think he had it in his mind that, hey, I don't want to run too fast because my coach was saying that just get through the dry phase, get to that 60 meter and shut down, and that should be good. So I do believe that Kishane Thompson going full throttle, full burst to the final, to the line without looking at the clock will break that 9.7 barrier. I think he has 9.6 in his legs. No questions asked. What we have seen from him, definitely. I definitely think he has it in him. It's just that will his body hold up until he put that out there? That's the biggest question, because from what we have heard is like he's injury prone. It's getting the best out of him before injury. I guess that's where the coach's biggest problem comes in. Getting the best out of him before the injury comes up is where the coach's biggest problem comes in. And I think that the coach had done really, really good job getting him to this point. Because remember last year it was Watson. I can't remember the first name. Was it Rowan Watson that we saw? Even though Kishane Thompson was the fastest from MVP, Watson was the one that was representing the MVP, and Kishane got pulled out altogether. We didn't get a chance to see him perform in the World Championship. He just got pulled out, and that was some precautionary measure, I think, leading up to the Olympics, especially this year. So I think they put enough work in him for him to get to this point. I'm gonna answer another question that I've been asking as well on this same topic. I think Kishane Thompson 9.77 is a blessing and a curse. Well, a blessing and not so much a blessing for him. It's a blessing because you know what, the world get to see something that we have been looking for in track and field, and he gets to see himself going a distance, going a speed that he would like to see for himself, but also the world get to see Kishane Thompson running a very fast time. So I just imagine the amount of drug tests, the amount of red tape and yellow tape that he's been bombarded with. And I think the same is going to be true for Nikisha Price. Just the fact that they are running really, really high quality races, excellent times, and the world want to make sure that these athletes are doing it naturally. They're going to go through a lot of psychological barriers, I think. And it came good at a good time before the Olympics, so I'm sure that his team would be able to manage it and take the pressure off, because you can see that he's an athlete that he listened to his coach. From what I've seen, he wanted to do exactly what the coach says, and he also said that he has seen around him the different athletes who had done very well, the likes of Sherika Jackson. He has already seen what came with the Elaine Thompson and the Shelley and Fraser, the Asafa Powell. He's in good hands. So he would be listening to his coach and see, and his coach, I'm sure he promised him greatness beyond what he had seen. He had seen Asafa Powell get into 9.72, not just 7.4, 9.72, being the fourth fastest man in the world. And also, I think another question or another thing that came to mind when I saw Asafa Powell and Justin Gatlin talking about what they achieved out of the sport. I think that those two men being top five, it's a badge of honor. But with Kishane Thompson slowing down the way he did, I'm sure that Justin Gatlin especially saw the top five spot slipping away. Asafa Powell would have seen something similar as well because he's 9.72, Justin Gatlin 9.74, Kishane Thompson running 9.77. These guys would have, they're legends. I saw the interview between Justin Gatlin and Asafa Powell, and it was like, hey, two warriors coming back from battle and talking about their exploit on the on the battlefield. Kishane Thompson is the new warrior. That's what I think. And yes, he will run 9.6 something, not just for the Olympics, but for his coach's honor. I think the coach would definitely love to get that. Even if you can't get the world record again, you want that modern day record. I think. Journey with Kelly. August 4th is the men 100-meter finals. Write that down on your calendar. That will be a big day in sports. No questions asked. So Claude is saying he do agree that Kishane Thompson will break the 9.7 barrier. I wonder how he really feel. Is he excited? Do you feel pressure? And did the light just go off for him? And he found out that somewhere deep down he's capable of a lot more. Or did he just? Because I remember him saying that he's not even sure what he's capable of. But did he get some kind of indication of what he's capable of? A lot of people is saying that, you know what, he's not the face of track and field or the 100-meter right now because he hasn't won anything yet. I do believe that he is the face for the simple fact that he ran the excellent time, and he ran 3 times back to back with Noah and Lyles running and calling himself the fastest man in the world, with a lot of the TV channels in the USA promoting him, calling him the fastest in the world, called all kind of different things. With all of that being said, and to see a man actually came out, run an effortless race, getting 9.77. Because some people might say, hey, you know what, he did put some effort into it. He did, but he stopped. He didn't put it all the way through it. He held it back a little bit, because I'm sure that the holding that back is strategic for the coach, for him and everything, because going all out at the Olympics, he will be getting an Olympics. Let's say, for example, he's able to get an Olympic record. It's going to be hard to get the Olympic record. The Olympic record is 9.63, Usain Bolt. But going out there and getting records, meet records, different places, that's extra money for them. That's what I think. So from the monetary side, Kishane Thompson would be holding back and based on the instruction of the coach. But overall, I think that when I saw the race and when I listened to his interview, they don't really run the complete race. They were just working on different aspects of the race, working on the start, the dry phase, getting to that 50 or 60 meter, and then the top end speed at the end. I don't think he was working on the top end speed in the trials. So there's so much that we can expect from Kishane Thompson. Journey with Kelly is saying the world need Kishane to ignite the fire in the 100-meter. No alone cannot carry it because he does not have the time to back it up, even though he's capable of winning. Now, that's another one. Noah Lyles in an interview today said that having the fast time is not the same as winning, because I think that he have a quite valid opinion right there, because we've seen where he took down Curly, he took down Ominiala, a lot of fast people, he took them down. I'm not sure if these people were fast this year. Well, Ominiala fast this year. I haven't seen much of Ominiala after the 9.79, I think he ran. Because so right now, the top, the number one time would be Kishane, then Ominiala, then Noah Lyles, then Oblique Civil. So a lot of good times, and we have seen a lot of 9.8s going into the Olympics. It's gonna be a good Olympics, definitely. can Noah Lyles keep up to what he's saying. He's planning on running a lot of races in a lot of places. So I don't know. Wayne Walsh, sorry for butchering the name. Welcome to live. Appreciate the comment. The fastest man in the world is the man who ran the fastest time. Well, would you say the fastest man in the world overall or the fastest man in the world for 2024? Because, well, yeah, you're right. You're right. It would be Kishane Thompson. It would be Kishane Thompson. But again, the American news narrative will mostly focus on the Americans. You'll never hear them talking about other athletes unless those athletes force them to talk about them. So they were pushing Noel as the fastest man in the world. And he was going along with it. At one point, I saw him literally sitting down saying that he considered himself to be the fastest man in the world. It was interesting to watch. That was the time I realized he was not funny. He was actually saying it like it was a joke. I tried to laugh, but it was really that funny. Yeah, Journey with Kellina said, I like the fact that the pressure is off oblique. He may actually medal this time around. That's a very good point. The pressure is off oblique civil. Have you noticed that since that 9.77, the pressure it took the pressure off the Jamaican athletes that we were literally banking on, like the oblique civil and the Akeem Blake. It just came off immediately. And Noah Lyles put the pressure on himself because he was talking so much. And even after running that time, the pressure was still off Kishane Thompson because he ran one race after that, and then he just went back into the shadows. You don't see him, you don't hear him, you don't know what's going on. I can just imagine what's going on, the amount of tests that he's doing. That's the thing that I believe is going on right now. He's just being tested. It's being tested non-stop. And I can imagine how uncomfortable that is, but it's good. No, if they can get him to get past that psychologically, it should be fine. That's what I think. Before, because imagine this being done during the Olympics, they should be able to set some kind of standard going into the meet. Because remember, during the trials, after he ran the 9.82, they were very concerned that he ran a very fast time during the heats instead of during the finals. So they were saying that during the interview was saying that they were concerned about the time he ran. So they started testing him, and he did not finish the testing procedures until like 1 a.m. in the morning. You can imagine the kind of fatigue that get built up during a event. The trials would be a mini Olympics. That's what I think the mental side of it is. You need to get one, two, or three in order to qualify for the big stage. And on the big stage, you need to get one, two, or three to get that medal. So it might have been a very grueling and challenging spot for Kishane Thompson at the time. Journey with Kelly once again is saying because he is the reigning world champion. The reigning world champion, because what? I'm not sure. Might have missed that one. But definitely, I think oblique civil might be coming out at some times that we weren't expecting. We saw him doing some precautionary work with, I think, I can't remember the name of the coach out of Germany. Some precautionary work. I can imagine that they're gonna lay it all out there on the line. I even did a video yesterday. I was saying the sweep that Jamaica did in the 200 meter. Actually, I might have not done the video. So the sweep that Jamaica did in the 200 meter for 2012, the men 200 meter. That's the only sweep that Jamaica did for men. Actually, it had never been done before or after, right? And the sweep included the coach, which is Glenn Mills. So Glenn Mills was a part of that sweep. That was an impressive sweep. No, you saw that there's a coach out of the USA. I think his name is Dennis Mitchell. He's the coach, Shacari Richardson coach. And all three athletes in the 100-meter women from the USA is under the same coach. That coach have opportunity to get something similar if he's able to win with all three of his athletes in the 100-meter. He can get that sweep, a similar sweep like what we saw from the Racers Track Club. I don't think it will happen though, because we do have athletes who are very hungry I think Julian Alfred is one such athlete, and Sherika Jackson. We also have Shirley and Fraser Price, and we have Tia Clayton. Should not, won't be happening. Will not be happening. Journey with Kelly is saying being labeled the fastest man. Oh, because because he's the world champion. He's the world fastest man. I hear that. I hear that. But the only problem again, even then, it makes it even more valid for Kishane Thompson. While Kishane Thompson was available or present during that time, he did not run. We didn't get to see him. We saw Rowan Watson, not Kishane Thompson. And even at the Diamond League, when he ran that final, when Kishane Thompson ran in the finals and he got second, he literally ran from behind and he almost got Coleman on the line. Coleman won that race in 9.85. Kishane Thompson, I think, got 9.86 in that race. So yeah, we saw some serious running out of Kishane, but calling Noah the world fastest man is a stretch. But it's the USFA media. You won't even see a race on their media if a US athlete is not in that race. Just imagine the finals of the Olympics finals without a single US athlete. You will not see it on any of their media for a day or two. Wayne Walsh, Wayne Walsh. No sweep for USA. The only one that will medal is Shacari. Shacari is going to be tough to beat. Do you see Shacari losing the 100-meter woman? Can you imagine her losing that one? The way how she's running. And we talk about Kishane Thompson. We haven't seen him, but we also haven't seen a lot of any of the MVP athletes. We haven't seen a lot of them. And Sherika Jackson is capable of beating Shacari Richardson. Shacari Richardson, I think, have Sherika Jackson ticket. The only problem I have with some of the MVP athletes is the fact that they are used to pulling up. They are used to passing their athletes and shutting down. And I found out that if you look at Justin Gatlin, look at Noah Lyles, the way how they run, look at even the way how Gabby Thomas won the 200-meter in the Diamond League today. Those athletes run through the line. I think if they allow the other athletes to get a sense of security, so you feel like you're going to win. All right, it's only 10 meters. It's only 10 meters left. You can't pass me. I pass you. You can't pass me. And then they just go full throttle. I think that's how Noah Lyles passed a lot of his competitors. Justin Gatlin did the very same thing, and Shacari Richardson, she run through the line in the World Championship. The Jamaican women, being the friends that they are, being confused about who should be great at the moment, they were like, no, you take the victory, and Shelly was like, oh, Sherika, it's your victory, take the victory, it's your time. Sherika's like, no, Shelly, it's yours, it's 5, you can take another one. Sherika, they were just battling between who should win. It's like they were confused at the line. And Shacari Richardson ran past, took the victory because it was a good year for both athletes. It's not like like they weren't in their prime. Shacari literally almost failed to make it to the finals, and she got the victory because the US athletes, they run through the line. They run through the line. They don't slow down and look over. You see the showboating. I like the showboating, but I don't like the idea of the athletes looking at the clock at all. They should look at the clock after the race is over. They go back and look at what they did. But I think looking at the clock, sometimes it causes them to slow down to see to confirm if what they're seeing is correct. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the problems that the athletes have. But the ones who do not look at the clock, just look at the athletes who do not look at the clock. When they don't look at the clock, they just keep running and then look afterwards, then you see a very, very good time from them. That's one of the things that the MVP athletes need to implement into their training program. Stop looking at the clock and go ask somebody about the time that they run. That's probably one of the things. Also, I think after Listily Tobago demolish Nkume, Boaji Nkume, and they started looking over at each other when they are running. That's another way how the athletes find a good way to lose their race. Looking around, looking over and all of that, definitely a problem. And I think that MVP have some athletes who look at the clock. They look at the clock so much that could be a problem. Could be a problem because the athletes who are not looking at the clock, who are running through the lines, running through the tape, they'll pass you and they'll finish. They'll pass you the moment you try to focus to see if you're seeing the correct time. They'll pass you. I've seen it. I studied the races, especially the world record between Asafa Powell and the ones that was not world record. When Asafa Powell run through the tape without looking at the line, he gets really, really good time. But when and also Asafa Powell give up if you catch up to him. He's not used to running you down. If he's running you down, he'll run you down. But if you catch up to him, then it's over for him. I hope this is not the case with the MVP athletes this time around. Journey with Kelly saying, I agree with the fact that it is the person who run the fastest time of the year is the fastest man. Absolutely not the world champion. Remember, guys, I did have a link. I drop it here. Anybody want to stop by? You're welcome. You're very much welcome. Yeah. So Noah Lyles, I was being I don't know if I was being sarcastic, I was being critical, or I was just having fun when I said that Noah Lyles will try to get into 9.7 plus shape within 2 weeks. Is it safe to say that he almost got into 9.7 shape within 2 weeks after seeing he run 9.81? Again, I even saw the interview when he said his typical approach to running is the rounds. He loved the rounds. He usually run a good first round, an excellent second round, and he just demolish you in the finals. So, do you think that he was saying if this was 3 rounds, he would have been able to go faster? Do you think that's what he was saying? The same way how we have seen Kishane Thompson going fast in the first, fast in the second, and very fast in the third. Do you think that's actually what he was trying to imply? Because we did see some good time from 9.81 is very good time. But I've seen where most athletes who run the rounds, they usually get the fastest time in the last round. Claude Duncan, appreciate the comment once again. The term fastest man alive and fastest man in the world is unclear. Usain Bolt is the fastest. Usain Bolt is the world record holder and the fastest man, and the fastest man is the title given to Noah due to the fact that he's the current champion. Yeah, so I think the fastest man in the world and the fastest man alive. Yeah, challenging to figure out the fastest man in the world. Yeah, because if you're alive, you're still in the world. Fastest if you're alive, you're still in the world. The world fastest man of the particular year would be a more accurate statement because even if you ask some athletes, the title of the world fastest man they only lose that after the world record is broken. Even if they have 1 foot, even if they have 1 foot, and they are the world record holder, they will be considered the world fastest man until the record is no longer theirs. So, or at least that's how I interpret it. If the athletes ran a world record until that world record is broken, he or she is the fastest. Just like Elaine Thompson. Elaine Thompson is the world fastest woman in the 100 meter, and Sherika Jackson is the fastest in the 200. There was a time when Elaine was the fastest woman alive. When she had the two fastest times, which was closest to Flojo times. Yeah, so I do believe that the world record makes you the world fastest man because nobody had gone faster than you at that time. And the fastest man in 2024 would have been Kishane, and the fastest man in the world for 2024 would have been the most accurate description of the athlete, which even then, with Noah Lyles saying that he's the world fastest man, it's embellishing. But he's the world fastest in 200 meter, I would say. I think he's pretty much the world fastest in 200 meter. Um, Leonie Mackenzie, welcome to the live. Appreciate the comment. What you just said about Asafa Powell is what is what well, send if you can send the rest of the comment. I'd truly appreciate it. So yeah, with Asafa Powell, I can't remember exactly which point of it, but I do believe that if you look at the two world record, because Asafa Powell broke the world record twice, and there was only one time that another person shared the world record with somebody else at the same time, and it wasn't Justin Gatlin shared the world record with Asafa Powell. Justin Gatlin, I think, ran 9.77 to share the world record with Asafa Powell when he ran 9.77, right? No, when Asafa Powell broke the world record again and he ran 9.74, he did not, he just followed the procedures that the coach told him. Get out the blocks very quickly, hold your farm, get to the 60-meter line and shut down. And that's what he did. I watched that race. It was something unbelievable. The guy shut down, jogging through. I remember watching the Ready Set Go podcast with Asafa Powell and Justin Gatlin, and Asafa Powell was saying that's the world record that he regret shutting down. He regret not running through the line in that one because nobody know what time he would have run. The crazy thing about it, it was during the rounds. It was in the heat 2, and he broke the world record in heat 2, and he didn't know how to celebrate because he did not even know that he broke the record because he didn't look at the line. He didn't look at the clock. And when everybody was congratulating him, he didn't even know how to celebrate it because he still had another race to go prepare for. Glad Duncan, another comment, appreciate the comment. I think that race in Riti, Italy, is one of Asafa's biggest regrets. He knew he could have gone faster. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I saw him saying. He said if he didn't ease up, which he eased up, that was like it was he eased up even bigger than what we saw from Kishane Thompson in that 9.77 run. Kishane Thompson took the foot off the brakes, but Asafa Powell literally jogged the last part of the race. That was classic example of don't look at the clock. It distracts you, it pull you back. I can't imagine an athlete looking at the clock and glancing at what in one glance and confirming the time in one glance. I just can't imagine that happening. The athlete will have to glance, focus a bit, and then get back their mind in the game and run through. That's what if the athletes do not look at the clock, I can just imagine them getting a better time than them looking at the clock, even if they're shutting down. Because the shutdown that we saw from Asafa Powell in that 9.74, it's a world record run, even though he shut down. And back to the term that I was saying, the athlete who go the fastest time ever will be classified as the fastest man in the world, because if you have never run a time similar to that time, you cannot be classified. You can't say, hey, I'm faster than you. You might win against me, but you're not faster than me. You haven't run faster than the time that I have run. So do you remember Mike Marsh race 1992 when he ran 19.73 in the Olympics 200-meter semifinal? It was very similar to what Asafa did. That race, I don't know if I've seen that race. So you're saying that, okay, I don't know what the Olympic time, the record was at the time. You're thinking that he would have been able to take down the Olympic, the world record at that time? That race I haven't seen it. I would have to probably look it up. But yeah, I've never seen that race at all. But yeah, that race, for example, Asafa Powell, people have been studying Asafa Powell for his technique. And from what Asafa Powell was saying, during that time, the world record he broke the world record. So many world record would have been broken easily. Oh, it could have broken the world record. Understood. 19.72 was the world record in the 200-meter then. And he ran 19.73. Got it. Yeah, man. It's again, sometimes the coaches, they're doing their duties trying to protect the athlete because they would have known the extent where the athlete can go. For example, when you look at the way how they run and the explanation that you get from the athlete, know that they give some kind of insight into how they are trained. They are saying that the coach would just work on a specific part of the race that they are not strong in. So at the end, they would have to put the entire thing together like a puzzle. So a lot of them they don't know how fast they can run for that year. They just know that after they go there and they execute a complete race, then they might be able to see what the progress is for that entire training season. And I think that's what Kishane was explaining. Even Tia Clayton was explaining that they would be able to see where they are at the end of everything in a meet, because usually leading up to the meet, they don't get to run a full race. They don't get to run a full race against another athlete, or even if they're going to run a full race, they're not encouraged to go out and give full bursts. They're encouraged to just give the best part to work on the part that they are struggling with. And that's what we have seen from some of these athletes. Yes, the athletes tend to follow the coach's instruction the majority of the time. Yeah, man. And look, I think that Kishane Thompson, following the coach's instruction that time, it was a good run. Do you think that that was that's another good question? Now that we saw where Asafa Powell wish he had run through the tape in that one, do you think that he's capable of doing something similar again, where you would effortlessly get to that kind of speed, or really need to work for that kind of speed going forward? You know what I mean? Because he did not want to go too fast. He wanted to slow down and just listen to the instruction of the coach. Because I think that the fact that he ran as fast as he did, he cannot surprise anybody anymore. You know, the coach, I think, wanted to drop Kishane Thompson and everybody the same way how he dropped Shelley and Fraser and everybody in that 2008 Olympics. Because this Olympics, we would have been saying, you know what, oblique civil, oblique civil, oblique civil, no alliance, not oblique civil. And then Kishane Thompson would have came out of nowhere. Because remember, when Shelley and Fraser won that race, man, when Chilean Fraser won that race, that first Olympics, she ran set what 9 points 10.72, and she ran left everybody. She got the best start and she just run away. Nobody could believe it. You know, Claude is saying, do you think you're saying run in Beijing is similar? A missed Yeah, I think it's a missed opportunity, but he got the Olympic the world record, right? It was a 9.69. I think it was good because he got to break the world record again, and even the Olympic records again, because he ran the Olympic record. Olympic record was 9.69, and he was able to lower it, getting 9.63. So it was a missed opportunity because he started beating his chest, and he's just celebrated and stuff. But yeah, I think he make up for it. And I saw in an interview that he was doing, actually a podcast that he was doing, and he was saying that his best time is really not the 9.58, because he missed 2 months training. He just had a bet, and with somebody that he would break the world record, but if he run through the tape instead of slowing down, he would break the world record. They just didn't know how fast he would have gone. But he was saying that he missed 2 months worth of training, which 2 months he was inactive for 2 months. So imagine if he was not inactive and he was running against other athletes and he was sharpening his skills and just getting the race under his belt, getting his foot ready and stuff. Could have been a faster race. A missed opportunity, but it came back in that Olympics, and he got the nine in the Olympic. He got the Olympic record, which is going to be very difficult for somebody to take his Olympic record, yet alone his world record. Leon Mackenzie, me again. What you said about Asafa is true. He gave up when people start to pass him. Just subscribe. Appreciate the subscription. Appreciate it. Remember, Leon is leading by example. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. All right. Yeah, man. I think the athletes, the ones who are very fast, especially if you have a lot of ego, the ones who are extremely fast, as soon as somebody run up to them with something that they're not used to, they run up to you to the point where they're passing you, they just give up. Asafa Paul would have gotten a lot more medals if he did not give up, because He would be winning, and somebody catch up to him, and he get number four, and he would finish fourth. He give up, and two other people pass him. You don't just give up and just allow one person to pass him. He give up, and two people pass him. Asafa Powell easily would have gotten more medals, more second place finishes, or he just didn't like the idea of being beaten, like somebody run him down. How are you able to run him down and pass him? If it's Usain Bolt who run him down and pass him, he would have been like, all right. But then he just didn't like being run down. And if he's leading and you pass him, it's different. But if you are leading and he's running you down, he'll give it his all. But if he's giving it what you think is all, and you pass him, he'll give up. I believe Usain Bolt improvement on both the world record is literally not going to happen even again. 9.69 to 9.53 and 19.30. You said you believe it. Nobody will improve on those world records. I don't believe anybody will get to those records. Well, maybe the 200. I don't know. It's difficult. At one point, I think the best person to break those records already he already passed his time. If Johan Blake did not get injured when he did and missed out so many years, he might have broken those records. He might have. And maybe even when he left the camp that he did, if he had gone to maybe MVP, I'm not sure if they would have accepted him. You'd have to leave a high quality coach and go to another high quality coach for you to bring yourself back to that level. You know what I mean? So I think that it's gonna be tough to see somebody going the 9.5s. It's gonna be very tough. But remember, Usain Bolt did run a 9.63, and with the way how we saw Asafa shutting down with his second world record, he might have run a 9.6 something if he didn't shut down. If he had gone full throttle, he might have run a 9.6 something for sure. Asafa most disappointing medal was the 2007 medal, where he got the bronze in that one. Asafa Powell, I don't know where the mental side of it came in. I saw when they were talking to him about when he was talking about how he became who he became, and he said he really believed that he was an experiment. I think he was an experiment as well. Maybe he was the kind of I don't believe Asafa love competition. When I was listening to him talking, you see the way Justin Gatlin love it. It's like, yeah, I'm here for it. I want to beat this guy. I don't think Asafa love competition. Then the minute you started running him down, you're competing with Asafa. He shut down. Gatlin, the minute he see that you are ahead of him, he believe that there's somewhere in this race you're gonna mess up. There's somewhere that you're gonna slow down. There's somewhere that you're gonna stop. There's somewhere I'm gonna pass you because you're gonna believe you win, and that's where I'm gonna just go ahead of you. But Asafa shut down as soon as he feel like he's been being tested too much. I don't believe he love competition. I believe he's just talented, but not necessarily a competitor. But he has been in competition, so one would argue that he's actually a competitor, right? So, Journey with Kelly saying Elaine, two at the Oregon track meet, 10:54. She slowed down to look at the clock. No, that's what I mean. If the athlete is not slowing down, if the athlete is not looking at the clock, they'll get the best time out of themselves. If Elaine did not slow down and congratulate herself in that race as well, and started celebrating the way how she started celebrating before she get over the line. She was so agitated, so happy. You know, I think that race Shacari came dead last in that one. Everybody was like, "Whoa, look at that race!" You know, she slowed down to the point where it didn't make any sense. But she was so far ahead of everybody, nobody could get to her. But looking at the clock, I cannot imagine there's a time when somebody glance at the clock where they don't have to subconsciously slow down to confirm or to focus on what they're looking at. World record in the 100-meter is always broken in increments. However, you're saying leap was, oh, you're talking about leap. That was no normal leap. But remember, he was saying the 1069 was not really his. He was explaining that in the podcast. He said that the 1069, he knew he could go fast, but after he ran the 1069, everybody was saying, "Whoa, you have the 10, you have 10-4 in you." So everybody in his camp and those people around him thought he had the 10-4, and they were betting him that he was gonna go 10-4. When he went 10-5-8, they were expecting a 10-4, and he missed 2 months out of competition, and that's why he didn't get the opportunity to go the time that he was capable of. So that's his explanation in that podcast. He was even saying that he didn't necessarily want to run the 100 meter. He just, because I remember during his champs days, he ran 100 meter. No, he ran 200 meter and 400, but he didn't want to run the 400 because he just had to choose between the four or the one, and he decided that he was going to run the four. He run the 100 because remember he was running 200 in the first Olympic that he went to. He failed. He didn't get a medal in that one. Just what's his name? Tyson Gay was just beating him up all over the place, and that's where he decided that he would choose the 100 instead of go to the 400-meter road. Maybe because he wanted to get back at Tyson Gay, and as I said, the rest is history. World fastest man of all time. Michael Johnson had his biggest improvement on world record in the sprint in the 200-meter in Atlanta. What was that from the 19.72 that you spoke about to the 1932? Judith Kellina said, only in the distance running the clock makes sense. Hey, remember in the 100-meter at the Jamaica trials, the commentator said 9.73. I was like, what? And I was like, what? 9.73? And then they adjusted it to 9.77. The clock in Jamaica, I don't understand what they're using. The clock, I don't understand it, man. Even in the champs, it's the same thing. Yes, in 2009 he missed training due to a car accident he had. You're correct. That was a BMW that he got back in like the next day. That's the BMW that he, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, Michael Johnson, he shaved off the most. But yeah, that Usain Bolt run was different, man. Especially with the fact that Jamaica was not known for the sprints at that level. And then they came out of nowhere. And how is it that Jamaica is still able to dominate the sprints up until this day? Is it that the coaches got better? I don't know. The athlete, the people from Jamaica, it's the same people. It's not like they're evolving, like some hybrid or something. Oh, did Asafa Powell came out and he decided that, okay, I think it was it Maurice Green's record he took down. Was it Maurice Green's? No, there was this guy who was with Marianne Jones. He took his record. I think it was that guy's record he broke. And since then, it's just something else. And Asafa Powell was explaining how he became Asafa Powell and the technique that he now everybody else is using as a prototype. It was the combination of five people, which now it would be six because of Safa plus those five. It's a combination of all those people. The coach took a piece from this one, a piece from this one, and put them all together. The only thing the coach didn't find was the mental side of it, where he would have used, he just don't give up. He didn't know how not to give up. And even, I think Justin Gatlin should go down in history for his toughness, his mental toughness. Justin Gatlin would pressure you all the way to the line. You have to beat him. In Claude Duncan is saying in 2004 in Athens, Usain Bolt did not make out of the first round. The famous chain in the mouth incident. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Did he not? I think he got injured, right? Most people were saying that injury would not recover from that injury. think he got injured in that Olympics, or maybe he just pretended to be injured because he was coming off champs. Remember, he was just breaking records in the Junior World Championship, all over the place, and everybody was looking at the next coming after Usain Bolt. But then when he ran against like Wally Spearman and everybody who was doing good at the time, he just didn't. He couldn't match up with them. He couldn't match up. Journey Kelly, an inspiration. Though everyone wanted to be the next machine, but so you got all right, that makes sense. So everybody saw what was capable or what was possible in Asafa and Usain, and ultimately seeing those medals, like those sweeps, the 1-2-2, the 1-2-3, all of these things from Jamaica. Yeah, that was something special. I think that's the mental boost, and I think that seeing some of these personal best going into the Olympics is gonna do a lot of good for the athletes going into the Olympics. There are gonna be athletes who are friends with athletes. For example, in the case of Nikisha Price, there will be athletes who believe that they can beat her because they are the same age group. They ran in champs and they're going out there and they're gonna do their best. I think that the motivation will come from here. And we also have a villain in Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles is the necessary villain. I think you need this kind of person in track and field, somebody that everybody want to beat. And I keep saying that Elaine Thompson was the Noah Lyles. Elaine Thompson was the villain in the 100-meter women and 200-meter. Nobody really liked Elaine. Elaine was the next. It's like you have two people in a movie, a good lead and a bad lead. Shelley was the good lead. Elaine was the bad lead. No, Noah is the bad lead, or at least he's trying to be the villain. I know they're just finding some kind of good lead to beat him. Just catch up with some of these comments. Claude Duncan is saying, Usain took a lot of backlash for that. A lot of backlash, and a lot of people didn't believe in him after that. I was wondering, everybody was like, hey, he's done. He's done. He's done. No more Usain Bolt until he came back. And when he came back, I think that incident was a good lesson. It came at the right time because I do not think Usain personality is one that you can just calm. I think it took some kind of life lesson to bring Usain to where he is. And I think that Olympic might have been the life lesson because he's not necessarily a calm person the way how Asafa is calm. He's a person who is a party person. He wanted to do the most, and he didn't get the chance to do it. Or even if he had the chance to do it, he might have had a good reminder that every single mistake will be costly, will be very expensive. So he might have grown from that for real. Journey Killing, remember he was off the scene for about 2 years. Yeah, he was off the scene and then he just came back and he took over the world. And I think Usain Bolt is really, really smart in the sense that he came out when he did. If Usain Bolt had gone another Olympics, you'd have gotten a lot of beaten. I'm not saying that he's not good, but look at Johan Blake is just getting beaten all over the place. Not saying that Usain Bolt had the injuries to deal with, like what Johan Blake had to deal with, but I think his legacy would have been a little bit more tarnished if he had gotten more beaten in his career. If you search the internet, you have to really, really search very, very hard to find a race where Usain Bolt lose that race. If you can find 5 races where Usain Bolt lost, you'd be very, very lucky. You can find a race against Tyson Gay or against Wally Spearman, a few people before he got to where he was. But when he got to where he was and beyond, it's very hard to find it. Very, very. Even Asafa, you can't find it where Asafa beat him. And Asafa is such a talented athlete. In the 2005 World Championship 200-meter, Usain came in last in the 200-meter finals. I think who won that one? Was it Spearman who won that one? I'm saying 2005, but after after those losses, you can't find it anymore. He definitely learned some lessons from those, and he had one of the best. I think that's another thing I think we should touch on here. Usain Bolt had some of the best people around him. Not saying that they cared about him or love him. He had to pay them, right? And maybe they cared and love him. But Usain Bolt had some people around him, and I think this is where, if Elaine Thompson can ever get back to where she was, which it is so sad to see that she didn't make it into the Olympics. If she had the right people around her, she probably would have made it. She would have skipped the world championship to heal for the Olympics. You know what I mean? But Usain Bolt had people around him, and I think that he spent enough money to keep his body, because I think the athletes sometimes they need people who will teach them about money as well. Making money now is like winning early so you can lose late. Usain Bolt made a lot of money, but I think he's making more money off the track than on the track. Imagine Elaine just get into that third opportunity to do double double again, right? And then just stop running altogether. Think about the endorsement, everything else that comes with it. You know what I mean? So I think if Elaine had switched from a top-notch coach to a top-notch coach, spend the money, and just get to the point where she can go out there now, represent at 30, is it at 30, 32, somewhere there, and represent now, she had an opportunity again to beat these people who are running, because we all know that she's quite talented, right? She's the Asafa of techniques in for the women. Maybe some people say it's Shacari, right? But if she had spent the kind of time and money on herself to repair herself, skip a world championship, seeing that the world championship is not her baby, go for the Olympics. This year we would have a lot more to say about her in terms of the Olympics. It's should I would have could have anyway, but I just believe Usain spent a lot of money on himself during his time so that he can earn a lot of money after his time. Claude Duncan, he would have left off the team because of a suspected flu, even though he had one of the fastest time in the world. When was that? Who was that? Jared Kelly saying, yep, you have to know when you have to leave, when you are on top, when you are the best. Nana, welcome to live. Appreciate the comment. You wish keep wishing Noah Lyles. You wish, keep wishing about Noah Lyles. What am I wishing about Noah Lyles? I'm saying Noah Lyles is a villain. Noah Lyles go out there and he talks a lot. He's talking a lot. The guy is saying that he would be a better fit for his 4x4 team than the national champion, than the US national champion. The US national champion running 43, 60 something, 43, sub 44. The US national champion running sub 44. Noah Lyles is saying that he would kick him off the team and put himself on the team. It's a better chance of winning. A villain, that's a villain, man. This is like you're trying to ask people to hate you. Justin Gatlin won 2005. The 200 meters in 2005. I'd have to take a look at that again. Some of these far ones, I don't remember them. Flojo had the best farm in women's sprinting, Asafa for the men. Flojo. But the ones that we can remember, it's probably Elaine. For the ones that we can remember, crippled, clip. Sorry, bro. Clip. Appreciate the comment. Thanks for joining live. I think Flojo is not one of the athletes that I've seen enough to say yes, I've seen her, but Elaine for sure, I've seen her. Elaine was like a robot to some extent, and Elaine did not care about anybody around her. She's just running away from you and running leave you. You know what I mean? She had that almost robotic style of running where she's just running with form, focusing on the finish line. The same way Asafa did, but with Elaine, she was just the athlete that it seems like the other athletes feared her because she was literally an unknown. Shelly Ann Fraser was Shelly Ann Fraser Price. The world knew Shelly Ann Fraser. The world lost to her. Everybody respected her. But in case of Elaine, I don't think anybody respected her. They feared her more than how they respected her. Flojo, we heard Flojo is like a legend to some extent. I would have to look up her exploits to see what she did. Journey with Kelly, they never gave it to her at the double double. What makes you think that they would give it to her if she gets back? Look how Nike treated her. That's what I mean. She's a villain. She shouldn't have been. She shouldn't have been, and that's why sometimes I feel like Kishane Thompson decided that I'm gonna take the money and run. I'm gonna take the money and run, even though she just win. She just ran 10:54. I'm taking the money and run. That's what I think Elaine did. She was just like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm done with all you guys. Whatever else I can scrape, I'm gonna scrape. You're not getting any more of my talent. Is there another country I can run from for that is still Jamaica? You know, that kind of energy. Yeah, Elaine never really got that love, but you know, we still love to hate Elaine, right? The manuscript, welcome to live. Appreciate the comment. It's not a top-notch coach was Elaine's challenge. She needed a coach that understood her body. That's true. And I think the coach still understand her, still respect her, still care for her, still knew that she was his best chance of breaking the world record and get, because I still believe that Coach Stephen Francis deserve to have a world record under his belt. Because even if the athlete break the record, you know, he's creating those athletes. Those athletes are not like, all right, he could literally take a special person and build them into a world beater. So, you know, that a part of that world record would still be his. Asafa Powell world record, he would have owed it to him. Asafa ran for Charlie Munt, right? Charlie Munt High School, I think it was. What was it? Clancarty? I don't know what it was. I think it was Charlie Munt High School. Was it? Anyways, it was not a traditional high school. It took him, it made him into a world beater, and now his technique is the world standard for the most part. It's just that his mentality is not the world standard. Elaine Thompson will go down in history as a person that you look back at. You look at Elaine Thompson and said, you cannot talk about Olympics without talking about Elaine. Yes, you can't talk about Olympics without talking about Shelley, but Elaine will be remembered beyond Shelley, even though Shelley could win this one. But what Elaine did was go to the Olympics, win 100 and 200 against strong rivalry. When she won the 200, she was not running against a weak athlete. She was a strong athlete, right? And when she won the 200, she ran back to back strong athletes, you know. So Elaine will be remembered as the athlete that took this 8 years for herself. Shelley will be remembered as the athlete that took many years for herself in World Championship, but when it came to Elaine, she couldn't beat Elaine. Even if she won some races, when we talk about the championship, the tournament, the big stage, she could not beat Elaine. Elaine beat herself. That's probably the next thing that she'll remember for, the athlete that beat herself, because nobody else could. Clipped. You're saying that, do you think Sharika is not in top form, or do you think she's hiding her explosiveness from last year? I think Sharika, I said this before, I think Sharika was the Elaine Punisher. Sharika was designed to beat Elaine into submission last year. You know, we did see some good things out of Sharika, but I don't see anything to convince me that Sharika is ready. I don't see anything. We're gonna go off literally what we have gone off with Asafa. Asafa typically would, everybody know who Asafa is. He's a powerful athlete, one of the world best. And if he come good, nobody can beat him. But I do not see anything at all that says Sharika is ready. Remember, the number one time is Gabby Thomas, right? Gabby Thomas is as the number one time, and the number two time, and the number three time I think is Julian Alfred. We haven't seen a lot of races from Sharika Jackson, so I cannot say. And when the race where she got pushed by Julian Alfred. I won't say it's just because she got pushed by Julian Alfred, but she pulled up in that race. Precautionary measures, yes, or maybe not. We really haven't seen MVP athletes for the last 2 weeks. After that meet where Kishane Thompson ran, it was mostly MVP athletes at that meet. We haven't seen a lot of MVP athletes since then. So it could be where it's time for them to regroup, train, get their mind together, get their body together. They have enough athletes in their camp where they could train against them. Explosive athletes. I would say at least 90% of the male athletes can run faster than Sharika Jackson in the MVP camp. So she can easily train against them. So it could be where they are just keeping them in their own little group and then go there and just own the Olympics. It's possible. It's possible. I think it could be that. But from her 100, she could she could beat Shacari in the 100, but she would have to find top form. But we haven't seen anything that suggests top form. We have seen something from Shacari that suggests top form. We have seen even Tia Clayton looking like she could peak, right? She's faster than Tia Clayton, but Tia Clayton could peak. She could peak. And if she peak, then it could happen where you never know what could happen. But Sherika Jackson being the athlete that she is and that she was in 2021, I believe that she was there to beat Elaine into submission. We haven't seen the same athlete this year yet, but we do know what she's capable of. Journey Killing, Shelley is considered the GOAT of track and field female, arguably. Shelley and Fraser, arguably the GOAT of track and field, a female track and field. And actually, she made it into the ESPN top 100. I think she and Usaid made it into the top 100 along with a lot of other US athletes. I don't know if many athletes made it into the top 100 for since 2000. The athletes that had the most impact on sports since 2000. Shelley Ann Fraser is one of them. Don't remember her time or the placement, but she's one, and Usain Bolt is one. Very few people in different sports made it. It's mostly, like the basketball and stuff like that made it, but she made it. So without a doubt, Chilean Fraser impact on sport is unmatched by the female athletes. Sherika is injured, but hopefully not too bad. That's what I'm saying. It could be where she's injured. Jan Mark, welcome to the live. Syrian answer, yes, okay. Jan Mark, you answer your family. Maybe Frano from MVP hiding his card. It's possible. It's possible because remember when Shelley and Fraser came out, in 2008 and won that Olympics, nobody expected her. Everybody was saying Shelley should sit down at home and let Veronica Campbell get her final Olympics. And then she won the Olympics and still dominating 5 Olympics later. Maybe not dominating, but still 5 Olympics later, she's still in the conversation. Journey with Killeen is blessing up Jan Mark. Jan Mark is saying, I keep missing these notifications. I think what you could do, if you promise that you would resubscribe, is just unsubscribe and then resubscribe. It just might be it might refresh your, I don't know. I think that might work. Tia might be the breakout athlete like Shelley from 2008. That's what I'm hoping for. I think what's the girl name? Slowly, I can't remember her first name. I think she was supposed to. I think she was supposed to be a secret weapon. But let's look for the next World Championship where Slowly will come in. Slowly will come in. I think pretty good because after in the same meet where Sherika Jackson pulled up, Slowly got second behind Talo. And I think she PB'd for that second. So Tia will have great athletes right next to her practicing. She will come out, she will surprise people. And I think Frano wants to be the master of surprise. I think he wants to be the master of surprise. He wanted to use Kishane to surprise the world. But Kishane ran too fast in that race. He ran too fast. And nobody's going to be surprised. Even if you run 9.6, nobody's going to be surprised at this point. God Duncan says 76 for Shelley, I believe. Number 9 for Bolt and 63 for Alyssa Felix. So not a lot of athletes made it into that list. Usain Bolt naturally is out of this universe of an athlete. So you can imagine him being there. I appreciate the information here, Claude. Yeah, but yeah, her impact, it goes beyond just the track. I think she inspired athletes as well. And if you are capable of inspiring athletes, then yeah. So Journey with Killian is pretty much confirming what we saw here from Claude with the ESPN top, the athletes that made it. So little Jamaica, I was asking earlier, how is it that these athletes were able to shine and then we still keep seeing athletes shining after that? And it's not just from Jamaica, it's athletes from the Caribbean. St. Lucia, Julian Alfred is St. Lucian, and the impact that she's making. I think there are others. I just can't remember some of them. Remember last year when Alana Reid was running, there was this other athlete from another Caribbean country who ran 100, 200 that they were pinning her up against. We're expecting her to be just as good as he or even better. All right, so Crystal, slowly. I'm expecting she will do very, very good things. And I think that was one of Francis' projects because a lot of people would have already seen the Clayton twins. So she just represented herself well and got into it. But I think that we'll see. I think he liked the secret. He liked to surprise people. Frano, the master of surprise. I would have been surprised if Kishane Thompson run 9.6. Not gonna be surprised. I think the biggest problem right now is the fact that he ran the 9.7 when he did and caused the world to start looking at him. And then they have to just manage whatever come with it. Because Shelly and Fraser is an example. Asafa Powell was no different. Remember when Asafa Powell ran 10:01? When Asafa Powell ran 10:01 as a teenager, nobody knew who he was. And then he fall started. He ran 10:01 and then I think he ran 9 something, sub 10. And everybody was like, what? This guy? Okay. And then he fall started. And everybody got disappointed. Everybody got disappointed. And it's like, oh my God, what could have been? Asafa Powell is a very unfortunate situation with him for real. Because he fall started when he shouldn't. He fall started I don't know, maybe it's just the nerves though. Maybe it's just the nerves. Claude is saying the brilliance of the coaches with the constant emergence of talent is what has been critical for the success in the last 20 years. I think the coaches could have been the difference because one might think that the coach is the constant, right? The coach is the constant because the schools have athletes. They have many athletes. And I think one of the other thing that we are underestimating or we could be underestimating is the boys and girls champs. ISA boys and girls champs. They got exposed to world-class competition very early for a total of 4 to 5 years back to back. So after primary school into high school, you're just being bombarded with championships and just the love that comes and the competition. Imagine a parent having two children going to 2 different schools, one going to KC, one going to JC, and that parent have to split the love between 2 passionate schools. So the passion, yeah, I really do believe that champs is one of the real mecca of what we are seeing, because even if the athletes do not shine during champs, they are stimulated to the point where they want to shine or they will shine. It's like, all right, I didn't peak in high school, but I'll catch you 2 years from now. Kishane Thompson was Garvey Massey, right? And now he's at the point where he's running away from everybody in Jamaica to the point where he's running away from everybody in the world. Claude Duncan is saying that famous race with John Drummond, where Drummond, oh yeah, they both were too fast start in one race, and Drummond was like, I'm not leaving. It's like I'm not getting out of this race. And Asafa Powell was like, yeah, we're not coming out. That was sad. It's what could have been. I think Asafa Powell have so much stories. It's like the what could have been story, you know? Usain Bolt just came, because Asafa Powell, I think, is the athlete who ignite the love of track and field in Jamaica. That's why everybody loved him. The same way how they loved Shelley and Fraser, everybody loved Asafa. Because let's face it, if you are a true athletic fan, not AC, if you're a true athletic fan out of Jamaica, you would really prefer to see Asafa beating Usain. But it just wasn't to be. Everybody would have been, yeah, let's just cheer for Asafa. Yeah, Adija Aj out of the British Virgin Islands. She was supposed to be the athlete to challenge Alana Reid. And that's another small island there. Another small island. Thank you for the comment, Denton Campbell. Appreciate it. That's exactly the person I was thinking about. She was supposed to be the one to challenge. And then also, Champs is such a world class sports tournament at this point where these athletes are going to Jamaica to train, going to Jamaica to learn. I remember last year during Champs, Trinidad and Tobago, they sent their coach there to literally observe. I was like, espionage? You know, is this espionage at its finest? 100 with Kelly Champs is a double-edged sword too. It is a double-edged sword. A lot of athletes could peak too early, get burnt out. I think it could cause them to burn out, mentally lose their motivation. A double-edged sword it is. But I do believe that there is not another champs in the world, and we're not seeing the result that we're seeing anywhere else. So champs just might be it just might be the maker of these great athletes. And it could be where the athletes who are peaking is good for the sport, is good for the tournament, but the athletes who are not peaking, those are the athletes who deserve a second chance. And that's where MVP, maximum velocity power comes in. They go for the athletes that get overlooked because naturally the ones who shine will be scouted out. They will be scouted out by the stronger coaches from all over the world. They want to see if they could get them better. And I was even wondering, why is it that Alana Reid with a 9.92, with a 10.92 in high school had such a challenging time she made it to the finals, but Tia Clayton was just better, right? Tia Clayton was a champ star, Alana Reid was a champ star, but she got scouted out and taken out to somewhere else. A great coach, I think it's the same Dennis Mitchell, right? And she didn't make it to the Olympics. While maybe if she was in Jamaica, it could be a different story. Maybe not, because MVP would have to be focusing on who they have to focus on. Right? But they will go ahead and they will take athletes that you know nothing about, like Crystal Slowly. You barely know anything about her, but I give her 2 years. Alana Reid would be fighting to beat her, I think. I agree. Sadly, a lot of our famous champs athletes did not transition to the senior ranks, either due to injury or burnout. That's the double-edged sword right there. The sword, that's where the other side come in. They get injured too early, and injuries usually never heal if you're an athlete. If you're an athlete and you get injured, how long do you sit out for it to get healed? If you sit out, you either get seized up, so to speak, or you lose motivation, or you have to go find a job to support yourself, because it's not like you're in an academy. It's not like the Indian, all right, like cricket in India. The athletes have a tournament that provide for them. They provide for the athletes. The athletes will, the cricketers, they will always have a tournament where they can play cricket and make money. But the athletes outside of track and field and getting a very good time or a very good placement in a tournament, they usually don't make any money. So they will have to either go to another country, work a regular job, something else, or they just continue to bank on their dream. So if you get injured as a high school athlete without any endorsement, you may never recover from it. So it truly is a double-edged sword. After they get burnout, they could literally come back. They could come back after burnout, but after injury, oftentimes, no. Yeah, man. Espionage. Yeah. The guy come and sit down the entire champs. He could watch it on TV. Espionage. Alana is in the wrong camp. Maybe she would tell them, she would care about some of them secret, come tell we. See a secret people I share. It's like Junil Bloomfield, right? Brumfield right now. No. And even that one, though, I do believe that it got blown out of proportion. I don't know if anybody else can agree. I do believe that with the conversation about Janelle Brumfield and Noah talking about the inside scoop from the camp, it got blown out of proportion. Let me show you how it can get blown out of proportion, right? Janelle and Elaine, they are close. Junelle and Sherika, they are close. Sherika is talking to Junelle, Elaine talking to Junelle. Junelle talking to Noah, talking about all kind of things. Who do you not trust? Is it just Junelle that is giving info, or is it that Sherika is giving info to Junelle, and Elaine giving info to Junelle giving it to Noah? Or Noah is the one that talk too much? Is it Junelle that talk too much, or Noah? Or is it the people who tell Junelle stuff? The all of them are leaking fridge. You understand? Only not even Hurricane Burrell can empty out a fridge like oh it seems like them people are empty out the fridge. Anyways, Claude Duncan saying, do you realize that Frano doesn't normally take the champ standout athletes? He normally goes for the unknown. I completely agree. Because by then you would have seen the talents, especially when they are taking the Issa boys and girls champs, the one that are in Kingston. The other athletes from other places that are not getting as much. Because if I'm trying to remember, where did Oblique Civil run? I don't think it was one of those major schools. I can't remember though. I don't think it was one of the major schools he ran for initially. He just had a very good form, very high knee when he was running, just like a natural, you know. And even Boaji, I don't think he originally was from the Kingston side. I think he went there. I can't remember. I'm just saying off the top of my head here. General Kelly Mitchell will never train her to beat Americans. You're onto something. I said espionage much. You're onto something. Why would he train her to beat American, and American they're so patriotic? But what would you think about Veronica Campbell, who never trained in Jamaica? That's another story. And Kiran Stewart, she also did some good work. Clipped is saying, I believe we will see a 9.6 at Paris from Kishane when he unleash at top end speed. What we see from him last year, that he has been hiding, that top end speed that we saw in the Diamond League, that final Diamond League, that was the race that could have put him on the radar because he ran so fast to get. Because remember, you know, Christian Coleman he has one of the best starts. It's difficult to keep up with the start that we usually see from Christian Coleman. But the finish that we saw, that freight train that we saw, going down the 100-meter track to get that second place, I think he beat Noah in that race as well. That was a top-notch race. That was top-end speed at its finest. No questions asked. Claude is saying, to this, Dexter Lee is one of my biggest surprise that did not transition to the senior ranks after being the world youth champ, 100-meter champ. Dexter Lee. I don't know if you want to put Steve Mullins as one. Steve Mullins might have gotten a little bit of pressure out of the sport, like they pushed him out. There are a lot of athletes, really. Dexter Lee was definitely one for real. I remember did Johan Blake run around the same time as Dexter Lee? Or Dexter Lee was after Johan's time? Just trying to confirm. Or just because they were so similar. The comparison was always there. Novlet Brown, appreciate the comment. Welcome to the live. She is in the wrong camp. Dennis is not going to train her to beat his country. You don't see her 3 training partners are 10-7, 10-8, and she can't break 11. Hold on. So you want to tell me that she left out the Jamaican champs and gonna carry water for the other athlete? Because I really was wondering it. How is it? And she felt well. She was saying that the death of her uncle was one of the major reasons for her to be at where she is during this season. So she said the passing of her uncle was a major breaking point for her. She's recovering, but it is really surprising to see that she couldn't get the similar times that she was running in high school. She was doing how is it that I know, like what's her name, Serena Cole? No, is it Serena Cole? She got injured running challenging Alana Reid. So I can understand that, and she's also MVP. She might be a secret weapon to come. But I can understand why she's not running, why we're not seeing him. It's probably the same reason why we didn't see Kishane. They train you, rebuild you, and then unleash you. I think, but with the Alana Reid being Alana Reid, I just don't understand why we haven't even heard from her. We haven't seen her too much on the Diamond League. Maybe she's just in the rebuilding phase. I just don't imagine her getting very far too quickly. But look at, for example, Julian Alfred. She's running out of America. She's training in Texas, Austin or Houston, Texas, and she's doing really, really well. It just might be the camp where you end up. Mitchell's a different. Mitchell is different. Remember, he would cheat just to have American win. I hope he just limit the cheating to the Americans. Claude Duncan. Oblique went to Calabar. However, I believe he was transferred there, though. I do believe he started out somewhere else. A yellow and blue uniform, I think he used to wear. I would have to research it to confirm. Oblique Civil. I don't believe he started out going to Calabar. Yeah, Clip is saying one of the biggest loss that we took is Michael O'Hara. He was special. Michael O'Hara. Was he also a Calabar athlete? Was it the 100 or 200? I think I remember the athlete, but I just can't remember. Some of them is like Claude Duncan is saying, what do you think is going on? That's another one with Brianna Williams. That's another one. I think, all right, with Brianna Williams, what I think is going on with Brianna Williams, I think she joined a camp, but not not necessarily the best camp for her. I think the camp is good. It's a good starter camp. It's a good camp. I think he should be under either racers or MVP. You know, like starting these athletes and pushing them up, pushing them to a higher level. I think the Titans. I think it's a camp that can start the athletes, get them. It's like a preschool or pre-university. I think it's like pre-university. You can get a lot of them. It's like pre-university. You can get so much out of the athlete very early, but then you can't get any more. I think Oblique, even Akeem Blake is at a point where he could literally go to a different camp to see if you can pull something more out of him. The great start you'll get, because Akeem Blake was not a known athlete. We didn't really know him, and they brought him to where they brought him, right? But they brought him to where they brought him, but I don't believe it might not be possible for them to bring him beyond where he is at the moment, because he's kind of regressing. In my eyes, he's regressing. He's just at that spot, but he's not breaking the barrier. He's not going below the 9.9s. He's 9.97, 9.99. If he goes beyond that, it would be a little bit below. The time, his start was just the best start, and then the start became a rocky start. You know, you see the false start, you see him slipping, and you're wondering, whoa, how did he slip here? He's not getting out of the blocks the same way how he used to. So I think that it's a good place for her to start, but not a good place for her to finish. Otto Bowden, he did a good job bringing her to where he brought her, but I think the Titans are a new camp, and she's looking to go to the highest level. Cannot stay I don't think it's the spot for the highest level. They'll bring it to a good spot, I think. I think they'll bring it to a good spot. Agreed. Clip. Michael O'Hara was special. Journey with Kelly is saying nothing is wrong with training in America, but that particular camp is not good for a Jamaica. Brianna is done, just like Coleman. She reached her peak. Sorry, not everyone can keep going, but Coleman had won some stuff. in 2023. So you could say that there's an opportunity for her to come back. Claude is saying he agree with you, Kelly. She is in LA. Rewrite. Oh, she moved on to LA now. Hmm. I didn't know that. She's so she's so underwhelming at this point. That's bro, she was very overwhelming at one point. She did great stuff for Jamaica, and that's another thing where a lot of athletes they peak early and then they should just go on to a corporate job. You know what I mean? It's like not saying that it's just probably the fate because she did real good work for Jamaica, winning a world championship, and then it could be where she need to go on to something else, marketing or something. I don't know. Yes, before trials too, she moved. Claudia saying, I believe Coleman sadly hasn't recovered from the form he had. Recovered the form he had in 2019. The suspension hurt him. Hasn't been the same since. However, the end part of Coleman race was always suspect. Now he's with the same camp where Dennis Mitchell. Rumor has it he is. What's going on with my camera right here? Anyways, rumor has it that he's now at the Shacari Richardson camp. He's her boo. So maybe he's gonna spill some secret over there or bring some secret from her camp to his camp. Who knows? Richard Williams, welcome to the live. Appreciate it. Comment. Good night. I always think changing of coaches mess up many athletes, many of our athletes here in Jamaica, Elaine and others. That's true. That is true. There should be an understanding. But I also believe that there are times when the athlete need to get a higher level coach. Like Stephen Francis is the level where you go to get your doctorate. If you're a college, if you're coming out of high school to go get your doctorate, you go to a college or a university in the undergrad program. To get the masters, you go to the graduate program, and then you might get some training with a professor, some one-on-one training to get your doctorate. So the coaches, sometimes you can grow out the coaches, or you can literally have a misunderstanding that is irreparable. Could be where Elaine, I just don't know the way how Elaine left her camp. For some reason, it seems like it was irreparable because she just ran 10.54 and she left after 10.54. What would have caused an athlete, a professional athlete who want the best out of their career to leave the coach that brought them to 10.9 to 10.54? I don't know. Sometimes it's just irreparable. I wouldn't be able to say. But I do believe that the coach that knows your body, the coach that have your best interest at heart and have a good relationship with you, business relationship or otherwise, is the one that you should stick with, because it could be possible that if she had stayed 2 more years up to where we are now, because that Olympic was in 2022, if I remember correctly, right? If she had stayed 2 more years, she would have gotten to the point where she could have competed in this Olympics. Yes, Sherika Jackson was getting the attention. She would have got the attention to the point where she would have been able to compete in the championships like Shelly. And then Elaine would have skipped the championships. I do not believe Elaine would have run in the world championships under Stephen Francis. Might have been where she would have had to skip it. And then should have gotten an opportunity again at the Olympics. The coaches usually you'd have said the coach know best and they tell you what to do. And not everybody wants to do what the coach say you should do. One cannot leave from an elite professional to a novice. That's true. And I saw that something similar with Johan Blake. Was he not being trained by his girlfriend at one point? That's what rumor has it. Allegedly, he was being trained by his girlfriend. Yeah, you cannot go to a novice. You have to go to something else. If you're an elite athlete, you have to truly go to another elite coach. You're coming from an elite coach, you have to go to an elite coach. And you see, Stephen Francis was giving his advice. He was saying that it would be better for her to go to America, where some of these people would charge her for their service. And that's what I was saying about, for example, Usain Bolt. They'll have to, he spent the money. Whether they took the money before they give it to him or he give it to them after he got it, but he had to spend the money up front. And then know the endorsements, the interviews, the podcasts, the showing up at different meet and promoting the meet, being getting his appearance fee. When he's now a free athlete, your management team will not be exactly the same team. Your coach will not necessarily get any of your income. They might get up unto the point where you stop performing, up unto the point where you're no longer under their um, leadership. But then outside of that, when you start earning by yourself, which is when they usually earn most of their money from endorsement and stuff, you get to save yours, because again the lifespan of an athlete is short, but the business side of an athlete this day and age is longer. Social media, you just post something, promote something, appearance fee, it's bigger, you know. That is saying, do you guys notice the trend that athletes with the superior speed endurance doing the 200-meter are performing better than just the 100-meter specialists? Yes. And that's why I think, for example, yeah, I was concerned about the Kishane Thompson situation there, because we don't know what else is. Because Asafa Paul used to do 1 and 200, right? And we saw the best out of him during the time when he was doing the 200. He didn't like the 200. He stuck with the 100. We saw with Oblique Seville doing the 100. He's focusing on the 100, but we're not getting the same delivery out of him that we're getting from a Fred Curley. You know, we know that he's fast. We know he's capable, but these guys doing the 200 are competing at the very same level. Even for example, on Noah Lyles, we have to talk about Noah Lyles. Noah Lyles is a 200-meter runner, right? That's his baby. He stepped down to the 100-meter. He might have blueprinted what he saw from a Usain Bolt. Could be the case. And now, and even this year, he ran second in the 60-meter behind Coleman in the 60-meter. And before, he was not that good in the 60. So you were not seeing a lot of races from Noah Lyles in the 200. And why would that be? Because he already have the 100-meter covered. He already know that getting to the 100-meter line is just, and then it's just the endurance to bring him to the 200-meter. And we can see good things from him in the 200-meter because of the speed that he has been developing in the 100. But what else? How are these? Even if the athletes are not running 200, they should at least run 150. The 100-meter athletes, they need to run something else that push them beyond 100-meter, where they need to get something to force them out beyond 100-meter, even 150-meter. Just same way, 200-meter athletes had to run the 300-meter or 400-meter. They need to get, because even Sherika Jackson, Elaine, why Elaine started beating Shelly is because she was a 200 specialist. She said she started beating Shelly and Fraser because, you know, he was she had the top end speed and she was at the burst of speed. Shelly was the start. The start was good. These athletes usually the 100-meter have the good start, but when they get to a certain stage of the race, because you're training for a 100-meter, you're training different stage in a shorter span. The 200-meter athlete would have to be using endurance 200-meter, double the amount of time. So if you have to use the same endurance for half the time, just imagine the amount of endurance that you do have. So yeah, I do agree that the to Claude's point, I do agree that the 100-meter athletes are not performing at the same level as the 200. Julian Alfred is an example, running good in both. You know, that's a very valid point. See, we saw that from Usain, Johan, Elaine, Sharika, Shelly. Um, yeah, it's just now that it's so much more obvious, objectively clipped. I think she's concerned. I don't think she's hiding. Claude, LOL Coleman finished fourth place in both events. The superior speed endurance is vital. There you go. Him have to start on 200, but at least he was able to run the 200. He was able to run it. But I think going forward, these athletes, they will, the same way how we are seeing the 100, the 200 athletes coming down to 100, are we're going to have to start seeing the 100 going up to 200 in order for them to start competing, because the endurance level is different. Jeremy Killinson, Claude, exactly. That is why I always say Seville and Ackley need to run the 200. Completely agree. Those two athletes are the future, or they're the present. There are some champs athletes waiting to eat them food. Royal King, welcome to the live. Appreciate the comment. I hope Miss Price will break. You're talking about Nikisha Price. You know, Fraser Price, so that's a price. That's like, which price? I'm gonna break 47. She already a break 11. Anyways, I hope Miss Price will break 47 in the name of Jesus. I hope she will recognize that she is on top of her game. Let nobody beat her. She's the woman to beat as of today. As of today, right? But Paulino, is it Paulino? May have something to say about it. She was the second going into the event today. She had the second best time, and now she's the world lead and number one. So let's see. And it's only 6 days before the Olympics. A lot of people would be fine tuning. They would be doing their best to go full throttle. Noah Lyles spent an extra week working on his craft. We saw some results from it today. 9.81 personal best. It wasn't a meter card. Can't No, it's not a meter card. Usain Bolt have the meter card for that one, the Olympic run, right? But the Olympic 9.63. But I do believe that she, at the moment, would have discovered something. Look what you're talking about, jumping from 48.89 to 48.57. So that was a massive jump. That was a massive jump. Claude is saying the last 30 to 40, when athletes start to decelerate, is now favoring the speed endurance athlete. No questions there. I wonder if, we don't know how Kishane is being trained, but did you see some top end speed from Kishane? Did you see, like, when he's running, the kind of pull? What is pulling him? I remember one time watching a Safa Powell, and I used to attend UTech during the same time when they were going to the UTech, and they usually train around by the auditorium there. They usually just spread out. There was an auditorium, a top, like a cafeteria, and then there's a big, I don't know what UTech look like now. There was a big, just a big, it's a big flat surface, paved concrete. But then the field was up top behind the auditorium, and behind the auditorium again, up top behind the auditorium, and to the side, there was the gym. And I remember seeing myself running. The guy foot always just high, usually just really, really high. And I saw him running. And it was like somebody was at the other side with a rope, just dragging him to the finish line. I was like, how is it these guys were able to push so fast? And I think I've seen something similar with Kishane. He has a top end speed. There's a burst, probably up to the 60. But in that race that we saw, where he got second in the Diamond League finals, it shows that he has some top end speed. But again, with a qualified coach like Stephen Francis, I'm expecting that if he's not running 200 meters, he's doing something to get himself prepared for the endurance and the top end speed. Jeremy Kelly, all three US qualifiers are 200-meter runners. You're talking about Lyles, Fred Curley, and Kung Fu Kenny. You're very correct. And to be quite honest with you, Lyles is the one talking the biggest talk. Fred Curley is the one with the fastest time in the 100. Lyles is the fastest in the 200, but Kung Fu Kenny is the most rounded of the two. Well, he's just as rounded as Lyles, as I would say. Very rounded. 200-meter athlete as well. Very, very likely to get on the podium in the 200-meter. And if you're not careful, you'll get on the podium in the 100. The 100 is wide open. Just so you guys know, the 100 is very much open. We have seen a lot of 9.8s going into this Olympics. So it's going to be open. Wendy, welcome to live. Appreciate the comment. Noah Lyles, I feel, is just making the sports fun. You notice you can't stop talking about him. I said Noah Lyles is making himself out to be the villain. And the villain will always be talked about because you have to take down the villain. And if you don't take him down, then he win. And Noah Lyles, if he win, then he's going to be like, told you what, you're going to say no. He's definitely making it fun, just like how you would watch Mike Tyson boosting his ego for a fight. Or in wrestling, you'd see people just boosting each other, talking what they're going to do and all this stuff. I think Noah Lyles is doing something similar. And even if it looks distasteful, it's so much, it's good for the sport because it's riling up the competitors. For those people who can't handle it, they'll go there and just let their emotion get the best of them. And for those who can handle it, they'll be like, all right, let talk with your spikes. Novlet Brown saying, I don't think Kishane is strong enough to do the 200, but I think he would next year. Remember, they're saying that he usually is injured. And if you're good in the 100, if you're good in the 100 and your body can handle the 100, then I think they would just add the 200. But if you're not quite there, injury prone and all of that, then I don't know if it's the strength, because what I've seen in terms of his speed and all of that, the strength is there. It's just that, just like you talk about those fast athletes that burns out quickly, it's not that they're not strong. It's just that they're just too quick. They're just too quick. So by the time they get to a certain point, they burn out. It's not the strength. So maybe it's training using maybe something better than 100, but not necessarily 200. But looks like he's getting lots of hate from Jamaicans. Noah Lyles is getting what he deserves from Jamaicans. It's not hate. They're matching his energy. Jamaicans, remember, Jamaicans are the bad breed slaves. There's no slaves more bad breed than Jamaicans. Noah Lyles is taking on a role that is not his. And that's the best way I can put it. They're just matching his energy. Especially that he went to, remember, so a little lesson in Jamaican analogy. Okay? Jamaican men, they like to keep secrets where women are concerned. Noah Lyles, he spilled too many secrets. The women like when the men keeps the secret as well. So that's their only concern. They like the way how he handle himself on the track. What Duncan is saying, exactly, over distancing in the background training should be a requirement. Absolutely. And I think there should be a requirement that these athletes do not look at the clock. Or they should put the clock 50 meters behind the line. So you have to reach the finish line to see the clock. Right? You need to put the clock very far. Now, bro, he said, remember, he used to run 200 in high school. There you go. Then the guy is, see, these guys are recruiting smart. They're already used to the endurance, and now they get the burst of speed, and then they probably bring him back in. But I think Kishane was already quick, but he was hidden. Remember, talking about the secrets. Remember, Junel tell Noah that Kishane was always there. It's just that he's injury prone. So there's a fast athlete that you have to look out for. In him, Kishane, come run left here. You think you're fast? You think you're great? Kishane, come. Can you imagine? When he said, please take Noah down. We are begging you guys. All right. Somebody well on, and nobody don't have Kishane number. Nobody don't have him. Never send him over, send him the message. No one need to get taken down on Shacari because they are not the world fastest and they're still getting. Well, Shacari ran the fastest time, but they're not the world best. They're not. But it depends on who is saying it. I like how Simbini looked today, barely edging out to Bigo, coming from sixth place. Simbini looked really good. What was it? 86? 9.86. Simbini looked good. Like he has a real good top end speed there. They were pushing and pulling each other. This race was a very highly anticipated race, especially with all of the what led up to it, because everybody would have been seeing what's going on or even hear what's going on social media with Noel Lyles. He's talking and he's talking and he's talking. When they said, I don't know if you spoke about this earlier, but was it a good move for Elaine to have her husband coach her? We were kind of alluded to it. We didn't expect, especially said her husband, but we're saying that it's not a good idea for a professional athlete with an elite coach to go to a novice. It would be not even a novice financial advisor, because in the long run it will cost. So even if she had just used him as a financial advisor versus a coach, it still was a bad idea. You cannot you have to go from a, a superior personality to another strong personality, somebody who can talk to you and you listen, because her coach cannot tell her that her farm is wrong. How dare you? That's just her husband. What kind of farm are you talking about? This is the farm I know. She can dominate him. She overwhelm him. He's not in a position to tell her anything. It doesn't matter if he's a high school star. She's an Olympian, not just an Olympian. She's an Olympic double champion. So yeah, it was an extremely bad move going from a elite coach to a novice, a full-time novice. Delano, Sweetin, welcome to the live. Appreciate the comment. I don't think that what he's doing is truly believing that he's the best. Good for him and the sport, but he's also very annoying. Just like the wrestling, just like wrestling, where the guys are always doing the most. I think he might believe that he's the best, because even talking about the 400, his ego is big. But the thing is, the problem is this: if you don't beat him multiple times, then he will continue to believe it. You see, even if he's running slow times, you have to win against him. Until people win against him, he's gonna continue to talk. They'll have to just keep winning against him. That's where you bring Noah down to the real level that he is, when he start going across the line behind somebody else. Leonie McKenzie, Noah not getting any medals in the 100-meter. Kishane Oblique and Curly. Curly is extremely fast. I'm rooting for Oblique, and I would love to see the best race out there, because I want to see that Kishane goes 9.6, and I think he's the one that have the best opportunity of going 9.6 with the kind of race that we saw from him. It's possible that he could go 9.6 for sure. When yeah, it's true. It's just the fact that him talk our secret. He should have keep it. That's the only problem. Coleman Brianna can be compared with cheetahs. Burn out quickly for 20 meters. Delano Sweetin. Kishane is the male alien. Yeah, at one point I was thinking, actually my last name is Thompson. I was like, wonder if I should have run. Because seems like these Thompson are extremely fast. Or even if you're a Thomas. Yeah, just joking though. Kishane is the male alien. Their natural speed combined with their great technique and mechanism, but his body mechanics, but his body through it. All right, so I believe that Kishane and Elaine is very, very similar, and the coach alluded to the fact that those two athletes are extremely naturally fast, and the body don't necessarily can keep up with it. I think that it is true for a lot of athletes. If you are extremely fast, you'll be using up a lot of energy, and you only have a body. It's a body. It's not like something. Maybe you have the speed, but you don't have the body to keep up with the speed. And then after discovering that these athletes are extremely fast, then the coach now have to figure out, how do we maintain this speed through to the end. It's not like you're saying this person is extremely strong. No, let's see if we could get them to get to be very fast. It's a slippery slope. I believe they are extremely fast athletes naturally. As a result, they get injured because of how fast they're going. Like some people are running down a hill. It's not your real speed, but you don't know how to stop. And if you force yourself to stop, you could hurt yourself. Like, you know what, you just stop your foot. You just keep your going forward. If you understand what I mean. I believe these athletes are just really fast. And that's what he was also alluding to, and the coach was alluding to it. They are too fast for their own body to keep up with. So I guess that working with Kishane to get the muscle that we're seeing from Kishane is the solution to it. Because even listening to Asafa Paul in his interview or his podcast with Justin Gatlin, Asafa Paul had to build his body as well. They had to build his body to the point where he could maintain the speed because he had injuries, and he said he got to the point where as athlete they had to be running through injury, they had to be running in pain. They get used to running in pain because they have been muscle and tendons are tearing off of bones and all of these things because of the sheer speed. So I do believe they are extremely fast athletes, and then the coach now will have to match the body with the athlete, while you'll have other athletes who have the body already, the strength, the endurance, and the coach will now have to help them develop the speed. And that's where I think these two athletes came in. Delano Sweeten is saying, Kishi, no, I already went there. Claude Duncan. When it comes to head to head meeting, Oblique and Noah is tied 1 win apiece. I believe Kishane versus Noah is 1 win apiece as well. Is it 1 win apiece though? Where was that? Was it the fight? Was all right. So would you classify the Diamond League where Coleman won as a win for Kishane, or how would you classify it? You're talking about the win, the overall win, because I think Noah was also in that Diamond League and he got third, and Kishane got second. But Duncan Paris will be the tiebreaker. Okay, and Oblique is definitely trailing Kishane as well. I think Oblique is definitely trailing Kishane. But in terms of the times, Kishane is leading all of them, and Noah just passed Oblique Civil in terms of time. And that's where Noah is using the point. He's saying that even if you're faster, if you don't win, then you should not be talking about being faster. Like right now, we're saying Oblique could beat Noah. But in terms of the time, Noah is now faster than Oblique in terms of times recorded. But the way how Oblique beat Noah the last time, one would say that Oblique probably is much faster than what we saw from him. But in terms of the time recorded, Noah still could consider himself faster than Oblique. I thought you would chew me up for saying Noah. I like it. I like your channel. Oh no, I told you Jamaicans really have no problem. Gatlin will get his love, Shacari will get her love. Everybody will get their love. It's just that after we beat them, we're still in war mode. We're still warring Noah. We're warring Noah as a country. You see, no one won't get the kind of backative that Jamaica get because everybody's backing the basketball team. Everybody's backing the basketball team and Michael Phelps. So yeah, if he was swimming, he might have gotten a lot more love. Harold Smith, appreciate the comment. Thanks for stopping by. Julian, I've Noel, oh, Julian, I've a secret. Only she can reveal it. She needs to be patriotic. Please reveal it. The only thing she have to go to a cut off, relax like Delilah. Secret not going to help her, you know. She have to cut off him locks. Cloud Duncan is say, what's your view on Quincy Williams running 42 as a 16-year-old athlete? I believe that he's gonna be a nightmare. I believe he's the future of the 400 meter. No questions asked. We saw him from last year, Penn Relays. That's the first time I really saw him, and he was too dominant for that age. Running 44 at this stage, the confidence is it's gonna grow. But the problem, the only thing that the only person I could compare him with is a guy that was Noah's biggest rival. I think it was Kieran Knightley. I can't even pronounce it. Some of them I don't really remember the name exactly. But you'll find that being pushed very early to greatness, instead of growing into it, you could lose it in 2, 3 years. So being 16 years old, you could get to 19 and nobody remember him because he's going to, unless he spends some time breaking away from it, enjoying some other avenue, he might burn out. And this is where the burnout is real because he's being pushed, talking about using them his muscles at the same level of a 27 years old athlete. An athlete who had been, it's like you have been exercising those muscles to get to the point where you can use them excessively. But this guy is developing muscle and is using them too much. It's like burning, it's gonna burn out too quickly. This is natural speed and endurance versus years of training to get you to a certain point. Like some athletes, we already know the talent that they have, but we also know that it won't last. Some athletes getting starting out at 20 and getting to 30, it's a lifetime. Starting at 16 and getting to 20, it's like starting out at 26 and getting to 30. So it's a tricky situation for Quincy Wilson. Royal Prince TV, appreciate the comment. Welcome to the live. Oh, the 4x1 men. Looking 4x1 men for the US and Jamaica. All right, I'm going to talk about Jamaica first. For the 4x1 men, we have very good times. We have athletes, sub 10 athletes, and I think we have 4 sub 10 athletes. I don't know if Rowan Wilson will be on the team, Rowan Watson. So, but we do have 4 sub 10 athletes. I don't know if they will be using the guy from Edwin Allen. What's his name? Brian Lavelle. I don't know who they will be using, but we do have 3 good athletes. My only issue is that they will have to work on their baton. They will have to work as a team. They will need to work as a team. I have no doubt about the speed, but they will have to work as a team. You remember when I think it was the 2012. That was our greatest. It's probably one of our greatest year in Olympics history, But you remember that year, the way how they changed the baton when everybody else was looking around waiting. They literally seems like they were counting by seconds. Johan Blake was a perfect example. He was there, and when everybody was looking back, he waited until the guy was literally 50 meters in. He looked around, and then he started to reach for his thing. That's where you can see that they trained for that Olympics relay gold. Because remember, they were working with Usain Bolt to get him that three gold in the Olympics. I believe we have the speed to win. But it's gonna be a very, very, very good race and a close race because we're gonna go up against a strong US 4x1 team. Fred Curley, I'm gonna use Fred Curley to match Kishane Thompson. I'm going to use Oblique Civil to match Noah Lyles. I'm going to use Kung Fu Kenny to match Rowan Wilson, and then we're gonna have Akeem Blake, who have a very good burst. But I don't know where you're gonna use Akeem Blake because Akeem Blake don't look confident as an athlete. He's running good. He didn't get a false start today, but we'll see. We'll see. But in terms of whoever we use, we can get the first or the second in the 4x1. I think we can get the first or the second. I don't. But it's only because I don't know how well these guys train together. It's not like we have all of them in the same camp where they can train together. We have maybe two in one camp and two in two separate camps. Again, they're all under the Jamaica team, but it depends on how they train to pass those baton around. Claude Duncan, big up to Matthew Hudson Smith for breaking the 44 seconds for the first time today. Didn't see that one. But big up to Matthew Hudson Smith. Big up yourself again, Wendy. Journey with Killeen. Julian Alfred confidence had surged since winning her first global title. She is gearing up for Paris nicely. I do agree. And everybody that she win against, again, even though Sherika Jackson pulled up in the race where she won that Diamond League race, I believe that she took the win. A win is a win, a win, a win is a win, a win, right? And today she pushed Gabby to a almost season best, and she got a personal best and a national title. She must be taking some confidence from this, and not just that. She ran down Dina Asher Smith, pass her to and Gabby had to run her down to pass her on the line. So her confidence is surging. She got a lot out of that race today, and we also got a lot. We know that she is podium ready, and at this point, she's number three. She's the bronze medal at this point in my eyes. And Sherika Jackson gold, um, Gabby Thomas the silver. Now, as the mental game, the Jamaican men need to up their competitive psychology. It's very obvious that Kishane is the superior athlete. He just need to believe it. Agreed. Completely agreed. We haven't seen much again. Kishane is definitely a mystery man. At this point, I consider Kishane to be a mystery. And I think it's good for him because imagine he came in, ran that 9.77. He gave the interviews. People got a little glimpse of what he's thinking, how he's talking. And then he ran that 9.91 and he ran it against a good field. Simbini, he beat Simbini and he beat Twigo. Today, Simbini got a second place behind Noah Lyles. And good time, right? It's a good time. But the way how Kishane won, you see that he was very dominant. These guys had no chance. He ran, and not just that, he didn't just have like a great start. He ran past them. And then after he passed them, he got to the point where he could shut down. My only problem is that being as fast as he is, being as dominant as he is, without seeing as many races as he had seen, maybe running against the guys who he's running against in his camp, he might be shutting down and knowing that they can't catch him. I just fear that these athletes will shut down at a time that they should not shut down. And the guys who don't shut down at all will run past them. That's my only fear for like a Kishane. Hopefully he's not one of those athletes. Hopefully he understands what's at stake and that he will have to run through the races, run through to the end in all races to make sure that something that we saw from Sherika Jackson is not repeated. Sherika Jackson was supposed to medal at the Olympics, 200 Olympics last time because of the speed that she have and the potential that we know she had. But she allowed herself to get past and she failed to qualify for the finals only because she shut down. So that's a lesson that they will have to learn. Delana Sweetin is also saying, I know some say it's not about what you say, it's about how you run, but sometimes you have to switch it up and play their mind games too. That's very much a fact because again, I was watching that podcast with Usain Bolt, and he said one of the things that riled him up with Justin Gatlin was just when Justin Gatlin was talking and said, "Don't worry, guys, don't worry, I'm gonna win this one. Don't worry about it, I'm gonna win," and he did win. The guy was so confident. He pushed Usain Bolt to a point where he had to start training again. And when he went out there and run, he win. So sometimes they have to get in the head of the athlete, having the athlete wondering, what is it that this guy is doing that I'm not seeing? How is he getting this kind of confidence? He know who I am, he know what I'm capable of. Why is he so sure? That Duncan, he's saying the 400 meter, the person Quincy could be compared to is his namesake Quincy. What is that? The national champion? Yeah, the national champion again. Yes, good times. You can see that I'm just talking about the fact that he's young very fast, very capable. But if you push him too much too early, we may just get 4 years out of him. The next Olympics depends on what happened. Or just like with Usain Bolt, I think that the fact that he failed so early in Olympics, it gave him an opportunity to become great towards the end. Because the first Olympics we did not get anything from him. Disappointed a lot of people. Didn't see him for 2 years, and then when he came back, he just took over. And now he will never be. Nobody will pass him. Journey with Kelly said 2012 was when we set the world record. Plus, they had chemistry, which the females never had, unfortunately. That's the point. That's what I'm saying. Right now, we have never seen a team of athletes that we are confident in, like how we are confident in the ones that we have going into the men 100-meter. Right now, even last year, we struggled to see a sub 10 all year. You wonder, it was like, what happening to these athletes, these Jamaican athletes? They're not going sub 10. And now we have 3 or 4 athletes running sub 10s, and we are feeling very, very confident. Royal Prince TV, you say, nah, was it that to the point I was saying? I'm not sure what you're saying now, but you're saying that Blake, Civil, Level, and Hudson Thompson. Blake, Civil, Level. Okay. So I'm expecting it will be Blake, Civil, Level, and Thompson. I'm not expecting Hudson. He could run in the rounds, but he's not gonna run in the finals. Hudson will not run in the finals. Um, Still a strong team. Lavelle is a very strong athlete. I'm sure that if these guys, Lavelle will be one of the curve runners. Blake probably will start. Yeah, I think this is what you're saying. This is exactly the lineup that they should use. Blake to start, Civil on the second leg, Level on the curve there, and Thompson to Power to finish. I think this is definitely the this is definitely the lineup that they will probably use. I think that's definitely it. Royal Prince. Not Royal Prince, no Kishane. What's that? No, Kishane is Thompson. Maybe you're missing what you were saying here. Jerry Skellings said, oh, Royal Prince. You got it. I'm just catching up on some of these comments here. I don't think Blake should start though. Hopefully, hey, Blake is still our best, one of our third best athlete. I think he's still. If we're gonna fail, let's fail at the start, so that we don't say we won't fail. We won't fail. We'll be good. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Who said in Jesus' name? There was somebody who said in Jesus' name. Was that for? All right. He started too shaky. Well, today he didn't have a problem with his start. It's just that he's not getting beyond the 10 second. He's not getting what we think we could get out of him. I think he'll be fine. Eric P. Kingston 13. Welcome to the live. Appreciate the comment. Who say Kishane don't know and believe? Kishane don't know and believe it. What do you mean by I don't know? Not sure what you're talking about there. The US is good because most of them train together, hence they are unbeatable thus far for the 4x1s. They do train together. They do consider. Remember, every medal to the US is important. The US is not just a team that go out there thinking that they're competing at the Olympics. They go out there believing that they're the best team that ever run in any event. The US believe that they are the best to ever exist. They have that dominant personality. So going out there and beating the US is like, oh, we just didn't do something right. That's the mentality that the US have. The problem with Jamaica is that oftentimes a coach would be looking to get the best out of their athlete. Therefore, they're going to push their athlete to the last day. And as a result, it might cut into the training time or the focus for the 4x1s or whatever. Right? But I do believe Jamaica have the speed for it. If they were able to bring the baton around good enough and hand it off, let's say they hand off their baton at similar time on the final leg, Jamaica will win. That's what I do believe. It's just it comes down to how the batons get exchanged. That's what I believe will is the case with the 4x1s. But we also need to remember that some of those countries that cannot run a good 100-meter individually, they have very good 4x1 um, teams. I think Japan have a good 4x1 team. They could beat they could beat a lot of teams. Italy, Canada, these teams, a lot of them, they're not good individually, but as a team, they're good. Sonia Lee Hilton is saying Hudson is good off the curve, but Brian Lavelle being a 200-meter runner as well. You know what? I think you'll see both in the heat, but when they choose the finals, it might just come down to them choosing Brian Lavelle. It's gonna be upsetting for Hudson, seeing that he is the veteran of the two, but it could be where they choose Lavelle. The manuscript Blake is not a good starter. That's what makes me wary. Yeah, as long as he does a false start or he doesn't have a problem getting out of his blocks, and usually when he gets out the blocks the right way, he rivals Christian Coleman. When he gets out of the blocks the right way, Christian Coleman will have to run to beat him. That's one of the things. We just have to hope that these athletes fine-tune properly by the time that they need, but on the big day. We just have to hope, because we still have to hope for a lot of things. We still have to hope for a lot. The athletes will have to be very vigilant. The coach will have to be very vigilant. Everybody will have to be on their best behavior, the P's, the Q's, and knowing that these athletes have everything to gain from with their best performance. I'm expecting that there will not be a 4x1 team without Akeem Blake. Before Kishane Thompson, Akeem Blake was our number 2. Before Kishane Thompson, we were banking on Akeem Blake. So at this point, we're still banking on Akeem Blake. When they don't know, you laugh about it. I laugh too. All right. John Kellin said, you're right. That time passed, we had the 3 best runners and never did it. Chemistry is what is missing in Jamaican female. You have a very strong and a valid point there. We really had 3 of the best athletes at the same time. Still couldn't do it. Yeah, you are right. And that's the point that I was making. Some of the teams, the smaller teams, the teams that does not have the great athletes, the great individual athletes, they'll cause problems if Jamaica don't do their best in the heats. Some of these small teams will take their spot because they're not running individual races. They are spending 3-4 months preparing for relay races. So Jamaica will have to come good. That's one of the things. They'll have to come good. Even Gatlin said that Jamaica had chemistry which the US never had. That was in the 100-meter men. The US women found chemistry that the Jamaican women did not find, and the Jamaican men found chemistry that the women did not find. Yeah, it did happen. It did happen. But I don't know for sure that even with all the chemistry in the world, they would have been able to beat the Jamaican team. I'm talking about the men. Because Blake was not normal. Blake was overshot. If there was not a Blake and Bolt at the same time, Blake would have been a similar greatness as Bolt. It's just that he was running against Bolt, and the injury destroyed everything. Remember, Blake was saying, all right, you know what? It's your turn. After you leave, then it's my turn. Before Bolt leave, Blake broke down. Those fast cars Some of them have to just put aside in a garage and wait their turn. Blake helped push Bolt to where he was because Gatlin was coming for Bolt. Gatlin was coming for Bolt, and Blake was there to push him. Blake was better than Gatlin and Gay, and Bolt had to overcome the man right next to him before he could even take on the rest. So it was nothing normal. Jamaica was just next level. A lot of people don't give Blake the respect that he deserved, but it's only because he was overshadowed by something greater, too great. Going home to Mount Zion. Welcome to the live. Appreciate the comment. Brian Lavelle is way faster than Blake. He's just not showing it. He's not showing it yet. But we'd love to see it. Would do great things for Jamaica. Especially that he has the top end speed. I said, give him some time. Blake got third in the 60-meter dash this year. Yeah, he got third. Remember, he's got he's got that top end. He get to the 60-meter fast. He got third behind Noah Lyles. And when they're saying not a good start, I think it's alluding to the fact that sometimes he will get a false start. When you're expecting that Blake is where he should be, no, it's time for him to shine. Then he falls start. Because he's so eager to get out. He wants to run such a good time. So if he's not going to fast start and he's not going to fumble the baton, which anybody in the lineup can do, then he'll do good. He'll be good. Very, very. Blake has beaten Coleman last year and run 9.89. Yeah, those are two quick athletes. They're comparable athletes. I think the comparison is just because he's not progressing, but he's still sub-10ing, which is good. That's why I'm saying Jamaica have a very good team in terms of the top three, very good. And then if they have a good curve runner, because you won't necessarily get a sub-10 around a curve, but if they have a good curve runner in a Brian Lavelle or again Hudson, because from what we're seeing, we have to be careful with the athletes, the three athletes where they are situated in the lineup, because they're all like the flat 100 athletes. From what I've seen, I can't say for sure that I know that these athletes are running curve, or they will be training to run curve. They're professional, they're Olympians, but in terms of the curve, I'm sure Brian Lavelle will probably be the curve athlete, but Blake, in terms of his start, is just like Brianna Williams. They have the good start, the excellent start in terms of getting out of the blocks and going. But in terms of getting out of the blocks correctly, there are a few times when he would false start or have a miss up. That's probably the only thing. And Blake didn't run a bad first leg last year. So hopefully that he will do something similar, because you asked the same question. What do I think about the 4x1s, right? What do you think about the 4x1? How do you feel like that they will progress in that one? Again, we have the link. If you guys, anybody want to jump on and let's have a reason, drop in the link. Yeah. Really, what do you think about Blake in the 4x1? After the 60-meter, Blake is done. That's the problem with Blake. That's true. Because even today, if you look at the race today, he did not have a very good start, and he was running from behind. I think what did he run? He run 9.97, but I think he had a 6th place tie for 9.97. He didn't really get a good start, and he didn't keep up, but he still had a sub-10, so it was showing that it was very good. So if the team can have some sub-10, they put together some sub-10s, some 9, some good 9, and we get two very good low 9s, like 9, two good leg, I think we can win it. That's the thing. I think we can win it. I think the time that we are seeing from Blake is enough on the 4x1. Hold on, man. How may I miss out, yeah, with Wendy? Going to Mosey and Brand level is a way better curve runner than Blake. Let oblique civil start. So where would you put Blake though? Civil start though? I don't know. But where would you put Blake? Because do you see a 4x1 team without Blake? Do you really see a 4x1 team without Blake? Wendy, right? For me, I can't wait for us all to meet after the Olympic result. Well, Anna, what kind of result do you expect? Wendy, where you come from again? Eh? Oblique level Blake Thompson. But the Blake spot would still be a curve though. Level would probably not be a curve. But Blake probably would have a curve. And Thompson, definitely believe Thompson should be the finisher for sure. And if not Thompson, it would have to be oblique civil. But civil at some point, he give me the give up vibes like a Safa. Like he will give up. Oh, oblique civil is fast out of the blocks. Well, I guess we have to wait and find out what's gonna happen on the day. I think we're gonna have to wait and find out what's gonna happen on that day. A good day. Third. No, I forgot when you harm to you. Hold on there. Remember, you know, the 200 meter is difficult. It's hard to beat Noah for the gold in the 200 meter. We do agree. I'm from the US. You're a patriot. You are a patriot. What Junelle tell you about Noah that what she didn't tell we? Because what she tell we is that Noah is not as good as Kishane. That's what she tell Noah. What she tell you? What did Junelle tell you that she didn't tell the rest of us? I know. You see what happened in that one? A lot of people missed it. Let me tell you what happened, really. Junelle spoke through Noah like a microphone, right? This microphone is not plugged in, but typically you take a microphone and you speak through it. Noah is the microphone Junelle was speaking. Junelle was telling Noah, expect Kishane. Expect Kishane. Kishane is faster than you and he's great. Expect him. What did Junelle tell you that she didn't tell Noah? When the only result is Thompson silencing Noah. That's exactly what Junelle told Noah. Gold will come here. Ask her again. I don't know much about track. I just watched the Netflix. Oh, that's where you get the propaganda from. Understood. Okay, understood. No, that was propaganda. Going out to Mount Zion, oblique lead Thompson for 80 meters. He's quick. It did. Remember, before that race, Thompson was he wasn't the unknown. We all knew that Thompson was there. Thompson started out with I think was 9.82. Then he did a 9.84. Then he did what he did. He started out with oblique civil's personal best. So we also knew of him. That was setting up. That set the stage for a very fast race. We expected oblique civil, and even when Thompson ran past oblique civil, that was unexpected. It means that somebody else can run past oblique civil, right? Somebody else can run. Oblique civil is fast, and he had been very fast for a very long time. Thompson is definitely the man for the final. He'll run past you and run your dog and pass you, and and if him start run, you're not gonna catch. You cannot catch him. If he start running ahead of you, you just probably will not catch him. Just like a Safa Powell. However, with oblique civil, I do believe that oblique civil will give up if him see you getting too close, like you're getting on his shoulder. He'll just give up. He hasn't won anything yet. That's why I think so. Remember in the championship finals, Oblique Seville was favorite as well. Noah won that one, but Oblique Seville, I think, was going in with the fastest time. If I remember correctly, the World Championships finals, Oblique Seville was the man to beat, and he gave up in that one. I don't know if I'm the only one who believe that. Delano Sweetin. Whatever Jamaica does, they must know that the most likely lineup for us is the most likely lineup for the US is Christian Coleman, Fred Curley, Kung Fu Kenny, and Noah Lyles. And that's a fast 4x1 team. Because all of those guys who made it into the 4x1 could have lost to Christian Coleman. Coleman is that fast. Coleman is that fast. There's no standout. There's no standout athlete in that four. Those are four athletes at equivalent speed. It's gonna be hard. You have to have a special run from a team to beat that team. A special run, which I think Jamaica can find. You get it now, Wendy? Yeah, man. See him so. Propaganda. The 4x1 will be fire. 4x1 will be fire. But remember, who won the four? I remember there was a race that Canada won. Was that 4x1? Some of these smaller teams, even without the great athletes, they'll create problems. Lots and lots of problems. And Japan will create problems. Yeah, no questions there. Propaganda, oh no, I like Jackson in the documentary. That was real. Everything about that was real, man. That propaganda right there. I'm talking about the Noah part. You have to know how to decipher the propaganda parts. when is the track game again? So Olympics will start the 26th of July. And the track and field events, I think, will start August 1st. I think the track and field events start August 1st, and it could last about 3 to 4 days. The events will last about 3 to 4 days, around about there. Going on to Zion, Civil will smoke Coleman. Who is Level smoking in this one? Because again, we still have comparable athletes. Our two top athletes is arguably faster than all four of their athletes, arguably. So the other two athletes that we will use will have to compensate for the speed. And I think we'll have a sub 10 performance from Akeem. So it's just whoever else we use need to come up and show up on the day, which is probably Level, maybe Hudson, as you said. Clip is saying Blake's start is shaky, but he's still the best. Without a question, it's the best option. It's not like without Kishane, we would be talking about Blake like Blake is the next coming of something. Like remember last year we were talking about Blake like, it was the best athlete. And now Kishane overshadows so many people. It's like we only have two athletes, Oblique and Blake. Oblique and Thompson. They should replace Level with Hudson on the curve. I don't think it's confirmed. I don't think it's confirmed yet, but it could be that it's gonna be Level. All right, it's my pleasure, Wendy. You're welcome. Y'all wait, Noah's coming. Ask Noah what he's worried about. You didn't watch the interview with Noah? How you joined? Not sure about the question, Royal Prince TV. How you joined? Or how do you join it? If you're talking about how do you join it, the live, there's a link I shared throughout the live. You'll see the link. Delano Sweetin. That Netflix thing was a PR promo. that try to get the world to look at Noah as the face of track and field, as well as Shacari too. The different things you're seeing from, like Vogue magazine and stuff. He is the clean cut, non-problematic sprinter. They they're hoping more people like like him, but we don't. It was definitely something just to promote the sport. I tell you, Kishane Thompson running 9.77 single-handedly promote the Olympics. This was something that the world was looking for. He single-handedly promote the Olympics and inject a lot of enthusiasm. You cannot. There's no documentary that could promote and inject this amount of enthusiasm that we have seen from Kishane Thompson. Nothing at all could do it other than a run like that and a shutting down the way how he did, beating the person he did, the way how he did. Noah Lyles got beaten at the same stadium by Oblique Civil. Oblique Civil looking around like, "Oi, bro, where are you? You sure you're in this race?" And then Kishane Thompson run past Oblique Civil, shut down, got a personal best at 9.77. The first time Asafa Paul ran 9.77, it was a world record. It was a world record. He got paid for that run. The world recognized him in a different level for that run. And Kishane Thompson did pretty much the same thing. And it was having a similar impact at Olympic year, just a month before the Olympics. There is nothing that could promote the Olympics at the level that Kishane Thompson promoted the Olympics. And then he just went back into the shadows and forced everybody to wait for him while Noah is running off his mouth and talking about different things. Kishane Thompson is there in the shadows. People are listening to what Noah is saying, but they're looking out for Kishane. That's the real promotion. But this, if there was nothing as big as Kishane, this probably would have been the real promotion for Noah. But Noah just going out there talking now, doing whatever he can. It's similar promotion. I didn't watch the Netflix series, so you see, I'm watching the drama, day-to-day drama, so I can tell that the day-to-day drama is more impacting than even that Netflix thing. Anthony Clark, welcome to the live. Appreciate the comment. At Wendy Kitchen is coming too. I think he has arrived. Everybody else is coming for him. He has arrived. He's now sitting on a 9.77 that nobody else has ever seen. It's like a throne. Like a throne that kings sit on. You have to be kings to get up there. Everybody else is on the podium, on the step, looking up. Noah is no different. Going home to Zion Clip. Level lead Knighton in London for 150. Hudson can't do it. You know how strange it is that we only have 2 athletes representing in the 200 meter. That's how rough it is right now. We swept in 2012 in the 200 meter, and now we only have 2 athletes representing the Olympics for the 200, which is Hudson and Lavelle. Very interesting with the caliber of athletes that we get out of champs and the caliber of coaches in Jamaica. We only have 2 athletes. How do we explain that? That's a big, big question that I didn't even think of. How do we explain that one? When they sure did a promo. Kishane, please don't make Noah sad, please. Remember, you see, this is the problem. You see, before Kishane, there was Oblique Civil. Kishane is like, as I said, is at a level where you have to get to. Oblique Civil and Noah is in the similar level right now, league-ish, kinda. So he will have to beat Oblique Civil before he can beat Kishane. So there's a lot of sadness to come. Anthony Clark, appreciate the comment. That 981 is a slight with Edwin is actually 9.79 in 0 Edwin. I was also seeing that he ran that time in a headwind, which is unheard of. It's a good time. Again, it's a fast track. It's a good time. And I was saying, what can he accomplish in 2 weeks of training that he didn't accomplish before? But we have seen it. No, it's just a week, maybe 10 days away from that finals. There's a lot that they can accomplish. And I think he focused on the 100 a lot more than he focused on the 200. So it is gonna be very, very interesting to see what we can expect from Noah Lyles, because this is a glimpse of whatever came. I saw somebody saying that somebody need to test him for the jet fuel. What do you mean by the jet fuel? Oblique is going to make us pro this time. I want him to start the relay. All right. Leone settled it all there. Oblique civil for the start. Then where do we put Akeem Blake? Man, I still can't. Hey, that 2012. I was just listening, thinking about the 2012 Olympics 4x1 team and seeing how perfect it was. You know, starting out with, was it Freighter? Freighter was usually the starter. I can't remember, but it was a good run. Clip is saying at going home to Mount Zion. That definitely did not happen. Watch over the race. So he said no headwind. Oh, night. Brian Level did not lead. Going home to Zion. The fastest starting speed is oblique. Fastest starting speed is oblique. The fastest out the block usually is Akeem, right? He's the only one who can beat Coleman for the first changeover. I think did I think that remember the 60 meter. I think Akeem could, if he can find the farm, he could run the first leg quite comfortably. And I would put the second leg for oblique. Wendy, will MVP trade me? I want to face Kishane. I'm scared of Noah a little now. I feel so happy as Kishane. That's why you want to face Kishane. You Wendy, you sure? By the way, them say him have a twin. You probably should have asked him twin. If he train you. Going home to Mount Zion at Leon Mackenzie. You know, track civil is the best option to start, and the relay start is the key. The manuscript, the 26th of July, 2024 to August 11. That's the entire Olympics. The track and field starts August 1st and it will and ends August 11th. The events that we are interested in starts August 2. There you have it. For who was asking. So there's a good week and a half worth of athletics. So the athletes will probably still have 2 weeks, especially if they are winning. They'll have the time. And a lot of athletes, they say they get better. You know, the adrenaline help you to do better. So as they win different races, they get a little better as the time progresses. Going home to Zion Clip, you're blind. That did happen. Did happen. This is Niglial, right? Nigial. Miss the right. You believe that Kishane can replicate this on the big stage? Very, very important question. It's a very important question and very interesting question to ask, because there was a lot of things that came together for Kishane. He had to make the find. He had to make the team. He was listening to the coach and executing under the direction of the coach. The coach asked him to execute a certain way, and he did. And then he cut back the speed. Now, if you look at, as I said before, if you look at the second time Asafa Paul broke the world record, he had the very same explanation. Just follow the steps and cut back at the 60 or 70 meter. And he broke the world record slowing down. No, there was so much that came together. I can imagine it being a perfect race. Will he put together another perfect race when it matters most? That's a very, very good question. It came together at a time when the world was watching, everybody was watching, and it was a big stage. It was not the biggest stage, but at that point, Oblique Civil, outside of Yala's time, was the man to beat, and he did it effortlessly to some extent. They looked effortlessly. No, the crowd was not similar. The people were familiar to him. There was so many people around him who could have inject some confidence into him. Going out there into Paris, into a different environment with other people with experience and a lot of noise, it's interesting to see if he can replicate this. It's a very, very good question to ask. Can he really replicate it? Clip. With your logic, starting Blake against Coleman, you'll be way behind on the first and handover. Is it? Is it though? You don't really believe? Do you believe that Coleman is that much faster than Blake? And in a good race. I don't think Coleman is that much faster than Blake, if he is at all. I know Coleman is fast enough to beat anybody on the team, but look at the way how Noah beat the way how Noah beat Blake today was a big beating. But what's Christian Coleman's PB? I don't know. I don't know if it would make too much of a difference. It's as long as Blake run a good race, he will be fine. I think he will be fine if he run a good race. Well, Coleman's PB is a good PB. Is a 9.76, is it? Yeah, it's 9.76, so it's actually up there. It's quite far up there, 9.76. He did that in Doha in a positive headwind of 0.6. So, but I don't think Coleman have that kind of farm. But Oblique didn't match that kind of PB either. But I do believe that the best start could be Blake. The best start could be Blake for the Jamaica team. But Civil as well. But I think Blake wouldn't be such a bad start. Civil could be a third leg. But I don't know if he's gonna be good around the curve, so it could be second, so Blake and then Civil. So if I think that would be a good start. Blake then Civil. Ilana Sweetin. No, it wasn't for 100-meter, but also Knighton was last out of the blocks and noticeably 2 strides behind everyone. Level unfortunately can't contend with him. Novel Brown, I would put Blake on the second leg. So Blake for the second leg, Oblique for the first. So those are the two different, the alternate there. Whoever starts best and whoever can maintain that start. And then the curve would be where you have to. The curve is quite important. I always thought the curve was among the most important. The start is important, but I always heard that the curve is among the most important. Anthony Clark is saying, Nigel, right. So far, it seems Kishane can handle the pressure. Those wins for real, especially that after coming off that 9.77, the way how he won against Tobago. Even though Noah Lyles beat Tobago today, he did a good job against Tobago and Simbini. Simbini got second place in that race, and he did a very good job. They could not compete with him. And Simbini definitely competed with Noah Lyles today. Going on to Zion at Navlet Brown, absolutely, because Blake has to have a lead to the next handover. But the confidence in Blake is slim. Wendy's saying, subscribe, guys, if you're having a good time. Let's help out the channel grow. Appreciate it, Wendy. So this is American that is supporting Noah Lyles, asking us Jamaicans to support, rewrite the narrative. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you haven't liked the live, please like the live. Truly appreciate it. All interactions are appreciated. And we could do this going into the Olympics almost every night at 7, as long as the time permits. And then during the Olympics, we could review some of the races. Anthony Clark at Navlet Brown agreed. Oblique to start Blake on the backstretch level on the curve. Kishane to anchor. That's a very good look. That's a very, very good look. Can Kishane beat you? Say no. No, not this in not in this universe. Not yet. No, no. Ask about Asafa. Probably still can't beat Asafa yet. Jamaica stressing their athletes, and I don't think there can be much more stress than trials there. However, he's young and has little experience, so psychological support is needed heading into the race. Not a very valid point. Not a very, very valid point. He's only 20, I guess 23 now. His birthday just passed a couple of days ago. So he's not a seasoned veteran, but he just inherited the face of athletics, and he just inherited the promotion of the Olympics unknowingly. So the pressure is on, and he's also inherited a lot of attention from the testing people. You know, they will constantly be watching him, testing him, doing everything to make sure that his life is as difficult as possible. So it's not the most comfortable environment, I think. I don't think it's the most comfortable environment for him, but this will test him. It came ahead of the Olympics, not during, and this will help to give him a psychological edge. And the team behind him will also know what to expect, and they will also know his condition, because from what I've heard, he had been in MVP for a while. It's just not he was not pushed to the front because he was not ready due to the different injuries that would come. You are joking, right? When they a joke, boy. Oh yeah, yeah, that was a joke. So when we were trying to figure out if you're a comedian, and the biggest joke of the night was, can Kishan beat Usain? That one was a valid joke. Honorary comedian, we appreciate that one. We laugh. We laugh. You say laugh and Kishan laugh. Leonie Mackenzie. Oblique to start. Akeem to level to Kishane. Oblique to match with Coleman. They are fast out the blocks, but Coleman is dead come 50. And that's why I think it could be he could be matched with Blake as well, because they are so similar. The time will not be far off. Going to Zion. Going to Mount Zion. Start. Don't mean nothing if you are not in the lead at the first handover. Stick to what you know best. Leave the analysis to the track. Leave the analysis to the track athletes. I don't know if the athletes will be the one determining all these things. They will have one duty, and their duty is to get the baton around in the best possible time that will help the team. They don't really do a lot of analysis. They usually do what they are told, I think. Anthony Clark is saying at 20, no one, let alone Kishane, can beat the prime Usain Bolt. Remember how Tyson Gay maxed out and could not reach the back of Bolt in 20. Even his eyes, I'm sure the eyes passed across the line. Yeah, bull out. Cross the line before the rest of my body. Still couldn't work. Tyson Gay quick though. Let me Google Usain Bolt time. Hold on. When they are comedian for you? What do you mean? One of the most famous time in the history of the world. You don't know nobody time. You're supposed to know Usain Bolt time. 100 meters. This is a real comedian. Yes. So at Wendy, You see how fast Anthony Clark was able to put up Usain Bolt time? So uh it is I don't even know if this time is allowed to be taken by anybody else. This time is a national number. It's a national number. It is real. Yes, it's a national number. Uh, Bolt time. You see, it is this time is a very popular time, Wendy. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it's just a commentary going home to Zion, can't keep it on a low energy. I'd rewrite it right. I love from Florida. Love from Florida, bro. I was smart. I'm Miramar, me living up. So I will probably have Florida. Well, Pembroke Pines. When did did say she don't know much about track and field. Still, I give her a pass. I give her a comedian pass. Yes, Usain Bolt is the current fastest man alive and retired back in 2017. Delana Sweeting. Can we talk about the fact that Price is now leading the world for the 400 meter? I am Shane Shane Milabu fan, but with her not being 100, there is no room for people to slip by. I like Price for from NCAA. Yeah, I was definitely celebrating her. I was celebrating her PB today because she pushed that PB on her national record from 48.89 to 48.57. This is a real contender. Definitely a real contender for the 400 meter. I'm sure that Paulino will have something to say about it because I think she overcome Paulino to get this time and become the number one and get the number one. But I do believe that she is a strong contender for the 100 meter. For the 400 meter, for sure. She's stamping her class, and this is only days before the opening ceremony of the Olympics. So her confidence should be booming. These are the three PBs that I was looking at. The fact that Julian Alfred had a national record and PB in 21.86 behind Gabby Thomas, who ran 21.82 to win that race. She had to run from behind to pass Julian Alfred. Julian Alfred is in good form, thinking that she could be the number 3 spot on the podium. And with Nikisha Price running the time that she did today, I'm expecting that she's also podium ready. Will she be able to maintain the number 1 spot and get a gold for Jamaica? It would be good. That would be very, very good. I'm sure that she should be her confidence should be boosted, and she should be looking to get that 100, that 400 meter gold. But if she's not able to get that gold because it's 3 athletes operating at the top there, I think she could get the first or the second or the third, hoping for the gold. Wendy, I don't even know what you're saying, Ran. Definitely not his mouth, like Noah. That's for sure. I just knew you saying was fast from TV ads. Well, if you look at the ads, you're saying was fast, but if you're talking about just ads, Asafa was faster on the ads. No, I was faster on the TV shows though. No, I was the fastest on TV shows. You didn't you watch the late night show and the show with Kelly Clarkson? No, I was 100% the fastest when it comes to TV shows, but when it comes to the race and the track, you saying is unmatched. Anthony Clark is saying that journey with Kelly. Okay, my bad. Going home to Zion, can we talk about Nikisha Price? Yeah, absolutely, man. Nikisha Price. Yeah, I actually did a video on Nikisha Price today. I was just, you see, I was just touching on that. What are your thoughts on Nikisha Price? Do you think that coming off a good NCAA championship, getting the win, getting a national record, being the national champion from the trials, going into the Olympics, getting a personal best in that national championship, getting a that's a national record, breaking the national record at the London Diamond League without much challenge. She won that one quite convincingly. Yes, she maxed out. She had to catch her breath, but she looked like she's podium ready. No questions asked. I don't know who. All right, she was like in the second spot up until the 120-meter mark there, right around the curve mark there, and then she just took over the race, and nobody could catch her. She was just dominant. It looked like it was a well-timed race. She looked very experienced going into the home stretch, and she was unbeatable. Definitely look unbeatable in the home stretch there, and getting a world leading time, being the fastest in the world for the year, and getting us another national record. Remember, we have Jamaicans who won Olympic gold in the 400-meter before, and she have faster time than whatever time they ran in the 400-meter going into this Olympics. Faster time than what they used to win the Olympics. She's definitely podium ready, but will it be the gold? I'm not sure if it will be the gold. I'm hoping it will be the gold. We don't know where everybody else is, but at the moment, she's number one. If she's able to maintain this form to do something similar to what she did today, or even go a bit faster, we should be looking at a gold. No, going into the 4x4, it's interesting, but I think we could medal in the 4x4 as well. Looking at how she's running, not sure how everybody else is running. I know Brumfield, Noah, well, you can't say Junil Brumfield without saying Noah Lyles. I know Brumfield is running. I think we should be able to medal, but when it comes to Nikisha Price, what she's doing, the way how she do it at the time when she's do it, given that she's still in good health, we're expecting great things from her in that 400-meter. Vero Beach, about 1.5 to 2. That's outside of Orlando. Big up yourself, fellow Jamaican, Floridian. Maybe Mount Zion. I don't know if you have Jamaica before Florida, but big up. Going home to Zion, to Mount Zion. Anthony Clark. Anthony Clark. Yes, she did. She's little Wachitalawa. Little Wachitalawa for sure. And the time is speaking. The speaking volumes. At the Lana Sweetin Price is next in line. I wonder if she can run the 200 or the 100. Is she that fast? She's training in the US, right? I don't, is she training in the US? I think she's training in the US. NCAA champion. I think she's training in the US. Anything is possible, but I think she'll focus on the 400. And I saw from example, where with the MVP, we always talk about, we had been talking about some of the middle distance athletes going down to the 100. I saw where some of the athletes who ran 400 tried to go down to the 100, the 200, and it didn't work out. I don't know why it failed. I don't know why it failed. It seems like not a lot of athletes were able to make that transition. Sherika Jackson did successfully. Exactly, and she used to the round, so she will be sharp for it. I'm happy for her. Absolutely. She gave me the same kind of energy that we got from Kishane Thompson. Kishane Thompson just gave us a lot of possibilities in his run, and the run that we saw from her, no, especially no this in this Diamond League, especially even though she had a national record going into the Diamond League, and she was number 2 in the world going into the Diamond League. This run opens up some more possibilities for the Jamaica chances of medaling. Another good question would be, how many medals do you see coming out of this Olympics for Jamaica? It's difficult to go to say, hey, more than 10, but it's still not such a bad. It's still not such a bad guess to say 12. Some people would want to say more, but how many medals do you see coming out of this for Jamaica? Nikisha can run the 200. She's fast. Okay, sounds like that sounds promising. Because do we have a good 400-meter team at the moment? I wouldn't say that we do. I don't think we have a very good 400-meter team. We just have a 400-meter team, but a good one, not necessarily. The time that Sherika Jackson won that 400-meter in average, very average. That's why I would say that Sherika Jackson may not be in the same farm that she was in 2023. We are yet to find out. We'll see. But I don't think she's in that similar farm. Anthony Clark is saying the reason I asked about price is the shorter sprints because the older price is on her way out. So we need some fresh blood to fill the spot at the elite level, especially in the 200, especially in the 200. But I do believe that the 100 in the next year or two, the 100 will be flooded with talent or with replacement. A lot of these athletes know that their time is coming. I touched on the Alana Reid. What we saw, Alana Reid is the junior champion, the not record holder for Jamaica. 10.92. That's nothing to scoff at. It's like a adult athlete not going sub 11. And she did that in high school. The Clayton twins, Crystal Slowly. She just had I think she ran 11:07, and she's coming from high 11s. You know, she's going down. She's under MVP. She's in the MVP camp. You have various athletes who went to the to train or to college overseas. You still have Kevona Davis. What's her name? I can't remember. There's so many. She's a 200 and a 100 athlete. Serena Cole. She's out. She's injured. But I think the 100-meter is in good hands. It's just that we have to see who will replace some of these athletes. And the 200-meter is where they will have to put some effort in because the 200-meter is where we didn't have a good team going in this year. No, Elaine Thompson is probably past her time, but the coach said he believed that Elaine Thompson is not yet done. She just needs to get the right system going. At one point, he suggested that she could travel, she could train overseas, but who knows? Who knows? I think she just based on her speed training that she's had, the body that she have. Because remember when he was giving the interview before the last one, he said Elaine Thompson is the like the premier athlete, the premier female athlete. Remember, she went the closest to the 100-meter world record. And that athlete, without if she had stayed in that same camp, she probably would have broken the 100-meter world record, in the camp where she was. And he still had the highest praises for her. So if she was able to come back, then she would take back her spot in the Jamaican camp before trying to take it in the world. Now, the rest of we'll still have to overcome the Julian Alfred, and we still have to overcome the Shacari. We still have to overcome the Melissa Jefferson, because these are athletes who are being trained for the next generation as well. But I believe that the 100-meter for Jamaica is in good hands. Now, the 200-meter is a different story. So if she's able to bring herself to that, Melissa Price, Nikisha Price is able to bring herself to that level, or if they're able to train her up to that level, which it's possible from what we are seeing. She have the endurance, and if she have the speed, then definitely we remember Jamaica have a legacy that they created and a dynasty that was built. And if this legacy can be preserved and the dynasty can continue, we'd appreciate that. And it only comes from the new athletes coming in. Clipped West Park of Allandale Beach. Say I was in Dania Beach not too long ago catching fishes. I usually go there to catch fish because it's a easy place to just go on the beach and throw, or you just go there on the pier. So yeah, it's the same little environment. Appreciate all comments, man. Journey with Kelly in 12 medals. or possibly 14 medals. That's a lot of medals. Anthony Clark, definitely more than 15 medals. How? How? Because remember, these athletes are not going to get them for free. You have to work for these medals. Leonie Mackenzie, you're saying 15 medals. They'll have to work for these medals. It's not going to be easy. Nobody can beat Shacari Richardson in the 100-meter right now. She's definitely the woman to beat. She's definitely difficult. Difficult. If we had Sherika Jackson of 2023, there would be a possibility of beating Shacari. But remember, Shacari was running past Sherika in the 100-meter in 2023 quite frequently. So the twin will medal in the 100. Okay. I was really considering. I always try to look back at Shelley and Fraser Price in her first Olympics and said what we saw from Shelley and Fraser, just like this surprise. And even though we know Tia Clayton, we knew that Tina Clayton was the more accomplished of the two in the junior events, and now Tia Clayton stepped up. Most people would have actually looked to Tina Clayton going into the adult side of things, out of the junior side into the adult, and think that she would be the more dominant of the two. But the twin medaling. So what are you saying, that Jamaica is going to sweep, or Shelley and Fraser will not medal? Are we gonna get a Sherika Jackson? Because right now, going home to Zion is saying Shacari cannot be beaten in the 100-meter. The twin is only running 100. Is she going to beat Sherika, or she is going to get the third place spot and Jamaica is going to get 2 and 3? That's a very bold, very, very bold statement to make, that the twin is going to medal. Because even when I'm saying we are hoping for 2 medals in the 100, I was still not confidently saying that the twin would have medal. I was still, even with Shelley and Fraser getting the third place in the finals, or the third spot on the team, on the 100-meter team, I was still like just hoping for her to medal. So how do you explain the twin medal in here? When they saying I like Richardson, I hope it's not because she's I tell you, when they're a big comedian. Is that the only reason you like her? You think it's because she's Shacari Richardson? It's only because why you don't like nobody else? The only person you like, the only person you want to train with is Kishane Thompson. Why do you only want to train with Kishane Thompson and you love Noah and I so much? Why not train with Noah? And you like Shakari, you don't know if it's only because she's American. Yes, your suspicions have been confirmed. You like her because she's American. That's it. If Shakari ended up in Q room again, then I have her to win. If not Alfred. When you said in Q room, are you talking about in lane long, far away, far over lane? If Shakari ended up in the qualifying room, uh, do you think that? Do you think that? Or you think that if she go in too confident, she will not win? But if she got in with her ego down, then she'll be a little bit more focused. Okay, I'm analyzing it and breaking it down, and that's what I got from it. However, if the Jamaicans, the last year, the Jamaicans just didn't really have her in their sights, and she ran past them on the line because they were trying to decide which one of them should go over the line first. I think that probably affected the Jamaican chances of getting the win and give Shakari a big boost. But she won. She won in a good time. It's a very good time. But with Shelley running as many 10 sixes as she did last year, Sherika running as well as she did last year, Shakari shouldn't have won. But she did. But she did. Sonia Lee Hilton, welcome to the live. Appreciate the comment. We might see a surprise in the 100-meter. Tia Clayton might surprise us. That would be a very good surprise. That would be a very, very, very good surprise, a welcome surprise. But again, if she surprises us, who is going to surprise us otherwise, because somebody will. All right. Right now, if I should be realistic about the 100-meter, just by being realistic off the top of my head, right? Sharika, Shacari, and Alfred, realistically speaking. Sharika, Shacari, Alfred, 100-meter. Now, if I should say, all right, if I had to switch somebody out, I would take Alfred out and I would probably put Jefferson in, or Shelly and Fraser, because she's already a champion. If I was supposed to take Jefferson or Shelly out, I put Tia in. Who would where would the surprise come from otherwise? You know, because I'm saying 2 spots almost sure. Somebody else would have to lose their spot. I don't know. But Tia, it would be a welcome surprise from Tia. I like the Jamaican woman I saw in the Netflix. You see, after this Olympics, as much as you love the US, you're gonna switch teams. You're gonna love Jamaica a little bit more after this Olympics. Well, you know what? The Jamaican women team of old is no longer there. We're kind of in the rebuilding process, and it's probably coming at a good time in a good way. It's coming at a good time. It would have been better if we had the best possible team. It would have been better if we had the best possible team going into it. And then after this Olympics, we have a rebuilding phase going into the next Olympics, which 4 years. But right now we have people learning on the job. So we'll just take whatever we can get, because we have some trainees. Accurate narrative with regards to Shacari being the woman to beat. Anything can happen. Let's see what happens. Shacari line up against Sharika in the finals. It is true. And as Leonie was saying, if Shacari get humbled going into the finals, you'll probably have a better Shacari than if Shacari going there hyped up. That is true. But I believe that Shakari, with natural speed and everything, and the coaching and the entire America behind her, she could do great. But the simple fact that the entire America could be behind her could put the pressure on her, because she's now the face of the 100-meter sprint, and she's not necessarily proven herself to be a champion under pressure. Last year, I do believe the Jamaican women gave up that championship because they were just too nice to each other. You know, they were like, "Alright, they were just trying to. It's like Sherika take your first championship now, and Sherika was like, but you soon done. Just take the 5 and be a good champ. You know, it's like they're just too nice, and she ran past them while they were deciding who should win. So you know, it could go anyway. And Delano is saying that I agree that it will be very difficult to beat Shakari. She is ready for the moment. I just think that Tia is going in determined and has nothing to lose, and that's where it's dangerous, because she's saying that she's a twin, right? And her sister is the twin who had the most success in the junior, and now her sister didn't make it into the Olympics, and she's going out there and she's gonna lay it all out on the line for her and her sister and her mother. So she's motivated to get something out of this. She's in a good camp, and I think she surprised a lot of people at the trials, getting a PB, and it's a good PB. And when she described, she said, I was not surprised that I made it into the team. She already had the confidence that she would. I know, why would she be as confident as she was? Because she's running alongside Sharika. She's gauging her performance against Sharika. And if she's able to beat Sharika in trials or run past Sharika or get better start than Sharika, knowing that she's lining up against a possible medal contender, she has no doubt that she would make it into the team. That's what I am thinking. So to your point, I do agree, and I believe that she could get on the podium by virtue of her training partner. she could gauge her speed and gauge her performance against Sharika. Because who knows what she's really doing in the in training against Sharika. It could be where she's beating Sharika left, right, and center. Let's go on to another one here. We might get bronze in the 100 meter because I'm sure that Alfred will be fighting with Shakari for the top two spot. See, that's what I was saying. Realistically speaking, Alfred could make it onto the 100-meter podium. Realistically speaking, of talent, of the NCAA year that she had last year, you know, and of what we are seeing from her, we are seeing a lot more of her on the circuit she's running. It's early days into the year. We haven't seen a lot of the big athletes. We haven't seen the Shelly, we haven't seen the Sharika much, you know, and we have seen her. We haven't really seen Shakari either. So a lot of it will come down to the last day. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. When he's saying Tia and Alfred, I don't think I heard them in Netflix. You guys don't shoot me. I told you that was a propaganda. The only person, a few real people in there. Junil is real. Junil is actually real, and Sharika is real. There are a few people that is real in the in the series. You know, it's propaganda. It's propaganda. There's a lot of people that you'll discover in the Olympics that you didn't see in that series. You'll wonder how is it that it's just those people they showed. As I told you, it's propaganda. You'll see faster people than the people in there, and you're gonna wonder how is it that faster people exist than these people. They had been here before. In this year, right now, the fastest person is all right, Kishane Thompson, right? But Ferdinand Ominiala is the second fastest for the year. It's not Noah and it's not Oblique Civil, it's Ferdinand Ominiala out of, I think it's Kenya or Nigeria, out of Africa. So it's a lot of people that they will not put in there. Shakari, Julian, and Shelly are all faster starters than Sherika, Julian, and Shelly are all faster starters than Shakari. If Shakari find herself in between any of those three, pressure might bust pipe. I won't. It won't be like last year when she was in lane nine. Lane nine was a savior for Shakari. She didn't. You remember she didn't even qualify naturally for the finals, and she won. It was just the stars aligning for her. It was the stars aligning, and the pressure. She really. That's why I was saying she's not a champion under pressure. Remember when when she had the marijuana incident? Was it really? And then she blamed some of it on death and all of these things. But when it's all said and done, she was she was struggling. And I think one of the thing that they did, and this is where Jamaica can be credited for doing some good and also some bad. They embraced her and they were giving her all the love in the world and letting her feel at home, which is good for the sport, good for her confidence. But you did not see this kind of love for Elaine at all. Elaine was left out in the cold. It was such a crazy situation. You know, it was so crazy. Guys, please like and subscribe. Watching the channel, like the channel and subscribe. I can't wait for the Olympics to come, especially the 100-meter finals. I see Jamaica have two gold and the bronze. Hold on. So we get three. Are we getting three? Appreciate Sean Atkins. Appreciate the comment. Thank you so much, guys. As you're saying, please like, please subscribe. Appreciate all interaction. It's just a simple click. You know, if you subscribe, the next time I go live, you'll see, and Wendy will be here to entertain you all. The resident comedian, absolutely. But yeah, man, please like and subscribe. Truly. And as you can see, all comments were read. So if you have any input that you are trying to input, you just make a comment. For those people, for another time, when if you choose to join the live, there will be a link that you could join the live. We only have 5 days, 5 days after tomorrow to go before the Olympics, and I'm gonna try to be a little consistent and do this as frequently as I can, just so that we can all be here to to learn about to learn about track and field with Wendy. Yes, I'll be here. Even Kishane can't take my comedian time. But remember, Kishane a sprinter, you know. Oh, you don't want him training to be a comedian. You see, you're funny. Kishane is a sprinter, man. He was a sprinter. But yes, I do believe that we had three excellent PBs today. Um, Athletes that I'm rooting for, Julian Alfred, even though she's not Jamaican and she could literally ruin it for us. I think that she's running very well. I think that she's very determined, and I don't think that she care about who she is lined up against. She pushed Gabby Thomas to a second the second to 21:82 is the second best time of the year, but she's now 21:86. I'm not sure if this is the best, but it's good times, a very very good time. It's her personal best and it's a national record. This is showing that she's peaking at the right time. She could be on the podium for the 100 and the 200, and she's a St. Lucian athlete. She will be a hero at some point for St. Lucia. This is equivalent to Rihanna. Rihanna is a national hero of Barbados, but this is a hero in the making right here. This is equivalent to what Usain Bolt and Shelly and Fraser is to Jamaica. So I'm rooting for Julian Alfred for sure. Nikisha Price, the 48:57. It's a good PB. As you can see, I said let's talk PB. It's a good PB, and it's a national record. And she lowered her PB from the previous meet that she ran in. So she's progressing and peaking at the right time going into the Olympics. She could potentially challenge for the 400-meter gold for Jamaica, adding to her tally. Noah Lyles is a good PB because he had been talking. He had been talking, and he's good for the sport. It's very entertaining. But getting a PB in a headwind days before the Olympics, and he recognized that the challenge was real, and he spent some more time in training, and we saw the result this quickly. I really do believe that Noah Lyles is very serious about what he's doing. He's talking about winning more medals in this Olympics than Usain Bolt, because Usain Bolt usually win at least three gold medals in the Olympics. Now Noah Lyles want to win the similar three gold medals where he would win 100-meter gold, 100-meter, 200-meter gold, the 4x1 gold, and he also want to take somebody's spot on the 4x4 relay to get another medal. So he wants to leave with four medals, better than Usain Bolt. That's his goal. I think he talks a little bit too much, but we saw the result today. I do believe. Anthony Clark is saying, at Rewrite Narrative, what do you think of cousin Dina's prospect in the 100-meter after her performance today? I think Dina Asher Smith just she's not lucky. I think she don't have luck on her side. She have talent, and she have the good genes, and she have good cousins. She have good family members, but she don't have good luck. She didn't born in the right time. She and Talu born in very wrong time. We have to bring this to Jamaica Patwaish. They were born in very wrong time. They were born in times when Elaine Thompson, Shelly and Fraser were running. They were running alongside somebody else who would have been able to get the third spot. And she was just good enough for fourth or fifth. Right now, she is in the time where Shacari is peaking, Julian Alfred is peaking, and Sherika Jackson still exists. And then we have Tina Clayton, who is very hungry, and Melissa Jefferson is just as hungry. So Dina Asher Smith and Julian Alfred is her training partner. So we'll see a lot. She's pulling out a lot out of either Julian Alfred is pulling a lot out of Dina Asher Smith, or Dina Asher Smith is pulling Julian Alfred to greatness. But I do not believe that Dina Asher Smith will be able to medal this time around either. I don't believe so. So at least Talo reached 10:72. The thing is not the time. These are good athletes running good time, but it's just who they are running against. They will not win. If even the times, the good times, and you're not winning, that's a problem. Because remember, Shelley and Fraser ran 10:60 and 10:61 and these things. You're on good time, but the fact that when she was running against Ilian, she was not winning. And then Ilian still have a faster time. Shellyan is a goat. Shellyan is probably the greatest female in a athlete in the eyes of many. But it depends on how you debate Shellyan Fraser versus Elaine. To some, Elaine will always be greater than Shellyan Fraser Price. It doesn't matter how you put it because she's faster and she dominated the Olympics while Shelley was running alongside her. So it really comes down to the win at the end of the day. She had good times. Talu had good times, but she just didn't have the win. All now Dina can't even break into the 10 sevens. There you have it. I don't think she'll win. I don't think she'll win. She's very and she has good cousins. Dina Asher Smith have very good cousins. She can brag about them. That's it. Leon Mackenzie, even if a tiger is behind Noah, he's not winning the 100 meter. Boy, they say the tiger would have eat him. Jaja. But he's doing good. He's doing good for whatever they paid him to do. If his duty was to promote the sport, he did a good job with his talking. And then backing it up today. You just imagine if Noah had lost to any of those guys, and if he had run a slower time than his personal best, there would have been a lot of things that would have been said. But at the end of the day, we had three good personal best. It's not a national record for Noah because Fred Curley is faster. Fred Curley is faster than Noah. Definitely. If they should really go all out and good health and everything, Noah would probably come third against the top four guys. He'd probably come third. That's what we were expecting from him. You know, that's what we're. Um, when they see that comedian or she enjoy comedy, I don't know. One of the two guys when they don't stop laugh. But I'm gonna say appreciate everybody who stopped by. Thank you so much for all the interaction. This was a very good live. Was a lot of comments. The comments is really the commentary of the live because it's from there that I was able to get talking points, and it kept it going. For everybody who stick around, I appreciate it. For those people who didn't comment next time around, I hope you will. For those who haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Who didn't like the live, please like the live. It pushed the live out to other people who would be interested in said content. Anthony Clark is saying, you don't have to like Noah, but you have to respect him. He's just like Gatlin, and that's exactly what I feel. At some point, Noah, with his determination, will be dominating sprint. Remember, Gatlin challenged Asafa until Asafa went into the he went behind him. And then he started challenging us, Usain for 5 years, 6 years. He challenged him until he beat him in a world championship to take gold. He challenged him all the way to the end. He believed he was just as good, even though he was not. But he believed that you will slip up somewhere in one of these races, one of these days, and I'm gonna take the win. When he's saying thank you, it was fun. Thanks everyone. Appreciate everybody who's been here. A comment here, big up yourself here at the narrative. Anthony Clark, big up yourself. Journey with Kelly, big up. Wendy, big up. For everybody who commented, Delano, Sweet and big up. Everybody who commented, I truly appreciate it. Yeah, I was looking for Anthony. There are some people who commented a lot more than others. Anthony Clark. Um, Appreciate everybody who stopped by. Truly appreciate it. Remember, like the live before you leave. I'm gonna wrap it up here, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll schedule it so you'll be notified if you were if you had subscribed, you'll be notified, and then we could do this all over again. Right narrative, like, share, subscribe.